independent from Britain, just as Australia is, and I'm wondering what ties the Queen to you, and how is that relationship between Canada and the United Kingdom?
You know what, Salvate? I wish I could answer your question 100%, but I really can't. I'd have to do some history research, I guess, to answer that question.
Well, and what made me think of it too was during World War II, the United Kingdom had most of their gold shipped to Halifax or Nova Scotia,
Yes.
somewhere along the St. Lawrence River there, and so obviously there was some ties. But 1867 was the year that Canada declared, I guess, independence and became an independent nation. And it's just interesting that the Queen still adorns your coinage. But like if you look at Fiji, the Fiji Islands in 2012, they had the Queen on their coins, and then in 2013 they have a new coat of arms there for the Fiji Takus.
Right. I found that pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, so that got me thinking about all of these subjects of the British Crown, and maybe that's a strong term, because I do know that Canada is an independent nation. So it's just interesting. I don't know if it's just a traditional thing or what, you know? I don't know.
I'm not, you know, I wish I could answer your question, but now you're going to make me go do some research.
I guess I could as well. I just figured I would ask. And
now I'm interested to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways. So Brian, how was Baby
I'm looking
Mac?
forward to the coin, the coin in the series with the hair on it from 1967. The 1 year that they...
Oh, yes. Yeah, that will be interesting, yeah.
I can't wait to see that one.
Right. Silver
I
Siren
think it's next.
Okay, right. Silver Siren says that she thinks each Commonwealth country has different ties and relations, so each one is different. So Australia's ties may be different than Canada's, and
right.
Isle of Man may be different. Yeah. So anyways. Yeah, and in this series of coins, they're going to release them all for 2015. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. You bet.
Now, the Royal Canadian Mint is also coming out with 5-ounce versions of all of its coins this year as well, which that would be a fun series to collect as well.
Yeah, they just released the 10-cent piece, actually.
Yeah. Though outside of my budget, you have to pick and choose. I'd love to be able to get some of these products, but I have to you have to pick your battles, so to speak.
I hear you. I hear you, buddy. There's so many to collect, and the Royal Canadian Mint is coming out with a lot of subscription sets this year. Like
right.
more so than they have in the past. They're really putting out a lot of subscription set coins. So you can't get everything. You just got to buy what you like.
That's exactly right. Yep. So Brian, how is baby Mavis doing?
From what I've heard, she's doing fine. They still have her on a breathing tube, but she's eating more, getting stronger. So
good.
That's always a great sign, right?
That is awesome. Very much so.
That's good to hear.
And the goal is to get them all back to the States, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what is the ties to China? Is your brother's wife from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. My brother's hard-headed, though. He knew it would be better to stay here, but he wanted to go out there.
Right, I understand. Well, maybe he can take advantage and visit one of the 5 mints there, and get some pandas at a good deal.
Maybe. I don't know how long they're gonna be there. Once the baby gets better, I think they're gonna automatically, come back. So.
Sure. Right. I think Silver Siren's asking if your brother's near Shanghai.
I believe from what I heard, somewhere around Beijing.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know like the mapping of that area, so.
Quite a distance from Shanghai. That's the capital city. That's more inland. I believe that was chosen as a capital after the rape of Nanking in 1937. They had to move the capital several times, and I think it ended up in Beijing.
Oh.
Yep. We just picked up some of those. Anybody going to be grabbing any besides me and Silver Siren?
What's that? The link here. Let's see what the link is. Oh, the colored ear of the sheep. Probably not. You know, honestly, I'm not as big into the Lunar series. My favorite coin from that series is the dragon. I'd love to get the 1/12 of silver slacker set with the dragon. I'd love to get all the sizes of those. And
yeah.
But that's about the extent of my. And I know that's not a numismatically smart way to collect because if you want to be a flipper, you get the Lunar series. That stuff tends to hold its value in spite of spot.
Yeah.
Spot doesn't affect it as much, but. Now, Brian, the log, your avatar there is of the Lincoln scent of a young Lincoln on his log there, a Lincoln log.
Yes.
Hence the term Brian the Log. But have you ever seen the movie Lincoln the Vampire Hunter?
Yes, I have.
I actually posted a video featuring part of that. Featuring part of that. A scene from that movie where they get all the silver together to fight the vampires. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was really a fascinating movie.
Well, it was interesting. I got to see that, and I think there was one where they came out that he was a zombie hunter too. Or zombie.
Oh, really? Killer. I didn't see that one. I didn't see it.
You know, Netflix and all these weird movies.
Yeah, yeah. But that one, believe it or not, even though it was obviously fiction, the historical ties to it were really interesting. I thought they explained a lot of things, and it sounded believable, all things considered.
I can see this is going to be a busy day for me.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Now we getting word that the 2015 Wedge tails are out at GovMint.
Oh yeah, yeah. The uncirculated versions of those, the BUs, the proofs haven't been released yet, but they're selling them now at the GovMint. I think the cheapest one is like $29 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll stay clear of those. I just want the proof.
Yeah, same here. Hopefully they'll have other avenues from which to sell them.
Really 1 ounce wedge tail. Gem BU. Yeah, no thank you. It's kind of interesting they're bringing the BU out before the proof, not
Right.
like last year.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on those BUs.
Yeah, same here.
They make too many of them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, Siren.
Yeah, I probably won't be able to stay on too long here. Got some Sunday things to do here, but gonna probably post a video before I leave to do those things. But it's a Royal Canadian Mint purchased, by the way.
You bought some RCM, did you?
Well, not directly from RCM, but
Oh, okay.
it's an RCM coin.
What did you buy?
Oh, just a little 1 ounce gold piece.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's few and far between when I make purchases like this, but
Well, what did you sneaky? What did you grabby?
little 2015
1 ounce maple?
1 ounce maple. Yeah, that's
Good for you.
yeah, it was actually it's a purchase I made a little while ago from Mr. Vegeta's one of Mr. Vegeta's videos.
Oh, so you got a deal on it?
Yes, at the time I got a deal. Of course, today it would not be a deal at all.
Right.
But it's amazing how quick.
I just wonder why. Are you interested in the 5/9s coins at all?
Yeah, I have the 2007 5/9s Maple Leaf, but
Right.
the Howling, but like what you have there, the Howling Cougar and the Wolves.
Yeah.
I mean they're nice, and I know they're pretty close to. They're not much. They're about the same price.
A little bit more, but not much. Yeah.
A little bit more, but not much. But that's a continued series, and
It's only 3 coins.
oh really? Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought
Yeah.
it was
Only one more. Next year will be the last year of the series.
okay. Wow. And it's interesting. It's just not quite. I'm not really big on the huge animal faces, like a double obverse. Essentially, it's like a double obverse coin.
You like a little more artwork in the field?
Yeah, that in the field, and of course, I kind of like the what appears to be a sound wave coming from the howl of the cougar there.
Yeah, it looks great.
And it's innovative. It's just and for some reason it just doesn't quite appeal to me, but that's just a personal thing. But I appreciate the artistic endeavor behind it.
Yeah.
But just having double-headed coins.
No, I just kind of like to get a feel what people think about, buying these over a maple leaf when you're paying almost the same price.
Right, yeah, and it makes sense. I think the reason why I chose the maple is because this is the first year that they have the radio pattern on the and they're also using that thing called DNA. The Royal Canadian Mint has that where they engrave that security feature and they scan it, and essentially for each coin that is struck from that die, if you were to send it to a dealer that has one of these machines, they can be scanned and it can be verified based off the Royal Canadian Mint's database.
Right. The security features that the RCM is coming out with the last couple of years are second to none, really.
Yeah. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it's either last year or this year or their first years that they have this DNA aspect. Whereas 2013, or maybe 2014, the security feature was the same. In other words, the little maple leaf with the year inside of it. But I see that it's on this.
You guys forgot the milk spots. Isn't
Oh,
that the best security feature out of the RCM? Get out of here. RCM is George, Perth, George, Perth.
All right.
Perth has the best security features. Just try it. It rolls off your tongue much easier. Perth. Just try Perth.
You're never gonna flip me over to Perth, man. Even though I
don't need to. Those milk spots will.
Is 24K a Perth snatcher?
Correct.
All right. Wow. Yeah, it's you know, I wonder, does gold ever get milk spots? I've never seen it on gold.
No, you get copper spots on gold.
Right. Okay. Right. For the 90% or whatever. Yeah.
Even for 4.9s, the only way not to get a copper spotting is if you get 100%. No one does it.
Okay. Right. So the
there have been
balance.
cases of 4.9s. Yeah.
So the balance is always copper. I've heard they put some silver.
Sometimes it's even silver, but it's still called the copper spot because it's copper spot when it turns red, and then it could turn red or brown if it's silver because it's tarnishing.
Okay, right, that makes sense. Wow. Very
Although I saw a video, I don't remember who did it, but it was just a couple of days ago where one guy took a lighter to a coin or something and removed the copper spot from a gold coin.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like a little small lighter torch.
Quite daring.
George, I love that 5-cent piece you put up today.
Yeah, number 2 in the series. It's pretty nice, eh?
Yeah. I think that whole thing with the George on the back is going to do really well.
Well, that's the last one with George on the back. The next 3 are going to have Queenie.
Nah, yeesh. I think those are the ones that will do well.
The 5-ounce hologram maple you're talking about?
Oh, yes. That is a nice coin.
Yeah. It's sold out already.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Thank God George got us some.
I wish I was too slow on that one. If I did get the 2-ounce goats this morning, you'll be proud of me there, 24K.
How much did you pay for them?
109.
Nice.
That's cheaper than me. I paid like 140 something, right?
The proof strike from the coin show?
No.
Yeah, that's the coin I'm talking about.
I thought you meant the 2 goats that I had gotten from the proofs, the prosperity and whatever one.
No, here. I'll show you. There you go.
Oh, wow. No, I only have the 1 ounce of that one.
From the coin show?
No, it's just a normal color proof.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to refill my coffee, everybody. I'll be right back here.
Right. I'll be back too, just a little bit here. Hold on.
close to
Brian, you buying?
I haven't been buying anything.
Gold's kind of tempting right now. Start looking at those prices.
Yeah. Money hasn't been there though. It's been a quiet couple first months for me here.
At what point do you hit your savings and start buying? That's scary.
Whenever I don't really touch savings. Whenever I just get a little bit of cash that I don't need to use for anything, I'll buy something.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. You look at the prices and you keep seeing it going down. And you just always wondering when is it a good time to?
When's it a good time to put the shotgun in your mouth?
No, not that one, fool. That's never gonna happen. I told you, I put it all up as decoration. I have the best wallpaper in a room.
There you go. It'll go. All those naysayers, it'll go back up.
Yeah, it is quite interesting when when all the dealers post their deals, then a couple days later everything drops. I guess like who was it? Cole Silver did a video about that and said that essentially when the unemployment numbers they think they're going to be really good, that tends to make a difference. But I think there's probably a little bit more to it than that, I would suspect.
Gosh.
Yeah, they're probably all part of the Illuminati. Outmax and stuff.
All a part of the what?
It's a big conspiracy against us, Salivate. It's one big conspiracy against us.
Right. The Illuminati.
They're targeting us. They're targeting at us. That's what it is.
Hey, I'm all about the low prices.
Yeah, we all are.
We're all about that base.
It's all about that base. That's right. And I can't wait till the end of the year when the 24 karat high relief, hopefully the designs will be really good and the U.S. Mint's going to be putting out.
Hopefully it's not a crash and burn like the last two they put out.
Right.
It seems with the U.S. Mint, when it first comes out, it goes up by a ridiculous amount of price. But if you compare it within a year to, let's say, like Pandas or something, you see that it goes so much back down.
Right. Yeah.
So it seems that you get in really early and try to flip it, or you're done, or you just wait for it to come back down and get it cheaper on the secondary market.
Right. And I think these coins, what makes them a little bit different is they're not commemoratives, and it's a special issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 2009 ultra high reliefs, although it's going to be obviously a new design, and it could literally go one way or the other. But you're right, the Perth Mint stuff certainly does hold its own much more than the commemoratives, than the modern commemorative stuff from the Mint. See, I'm kind of stuck because I'm collecting.
To be honest, look, the ones, sorry to cut you off, but the ones that seems to hold the price the best, or the ones that seem to increase the best or have the best price go up, isn't really Perth. It's the Chinese Mint, which is kind of crazy. But it's go look at the unicorns, or some of the older pandas that you can get 1/10 ounce for like 1/10 ounce gold for like $3,000. What?
Wow. Yeah,
just look it up. Look it up. Go through AppMex and see the prices that they're trying to charge you for older pandas, and you'll see that it's just crazy.
Right.
Have a go at trying to sell them privately, though. Everyone is suspicious that those are fake when you try and sell them.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
I knew that always, there had to be a catch, but
Yeah, they are not liquid at all. You find the right buyer, then you need to prove that they're real.
Right.
To them, anyway.
By the way, hello, not a polite Canadian, and hello, Jack.
Hello.
What's going on?
Oh, just chilling like Bob Dylan. You know me.
Yeah. How are the soft kitties getting along?
Oh, they have their days. They have their moments. I've got some footage of them sleeping next to each other and more footage of them sparring like UFC champs.
One's missing her teeth, though, isn't it?
Yes, but believe it or not, there's a weight advantage there.
Yeah.
And the small one with the teeth is actually pretty gentle. I think it's friendly banter.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Silver Siren is making us aware that she's the hostess with the mostest.
What's going on?
Yeah, we're not near that 15 person limit. So hopefully other people can join in.
I don't know Fi's account, so I can't send that link to him.
I posted the link there, sorry, and if you want to just message him back with that.
hey, Fi.
Hello there, how are you?
Hello,
Good, how are
Fi.
you?
I had to just do a little bit of searching to get the link. So,
What do you think of these prices, Fi?
on everything? Or on something in particular?
Gold in particular, and what's going to happen tomorrow?
I'd like to know. Well, let's put it like this. I've been expecting the end of February through to the 10th of March to be buying time. It's buying time. The question is, does it go lower on the 10th or not?
Yeah.
It's got to stop
10:50.
going down, you know. Being real basic about it, when it stops going down, it's going to bounce. But will it bounce? Will it bounce on Monday or will it wait? I kind of think it might bounce on Monday and run up into the middle of March, but that is speculation.
I really hope it doesn't. But
I think it'll be a down week all week. Actually, then there'll be some short covering on Friday.
Are we seeing other news of China or India buying massive quantities still at these prices?
no,
Okay.
we have no information about anybody buying right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure silver now, though, and I think it's going to go to like the low 15s again. Maybe lower.
14 silver would look nice.
Yeah, it flirted with 14 silver a while ago, but not for long.
Yeah, if it could retest that bottom and bounce back, that would be a good sign.
Yeah.
Massive difference from years ago when it was up near fucking, what was it, $47 or whatever.
And here we are arguing over $1. Will it get cheaper by $1? No, I won't buy it today. I'll wait. Yeah, it's a very good point.
I remember the days when it was 7 and 6 and 5 and 4.
I remember it at 450.
Yeah.
We're just trying to lower our overall averages. I mean, I've been excited this last week because I finally got my gold average below 1290. So.
Right. Yeah.
You know, if it keeps dropping and stuff, and you can get it down to around 1200, that'd be amazing.
Yes, sure would.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see gold go down again.
Yep.
Are you looking at it in terms of other currencies than the dollar?
No, only in the dollar.
You need to look at it in terms of other
The
currencies.
problem is, well, the thing is, all my currencies that are here are pinned to the dollar, so there's no point to look at it in anything else.
Yeah, but on the basis of breadth, what you're really saying is the number 2 currency in the world is gold. And you won't buy it because it's not the number 1. And there's like every other currency in the world, gold is going up against them. You know what I mean? It's not rational. You're basically saying the icing on the cake is holding me back. It's not that perfect. I think there's going to be a lot of people who will miss the bus. You know?
Yeah. The reason it's not performing in US dollars right now is because of the flight to safety. The US dollar market is larger than the gold market and therefore can absorb more capital. Therefore, it's going to outperform gold as a safe haven asset. When that reverses, watch out.
And considering the no matter what currency you look at, gold has really held its own compared to silver and the other precious metals as far as keeping its value. It's only gone down so much from its high of what, about 16, 17, well I guess what was the
1900?
1900? Okay, yeah. And silver is more than cut in half, obviously. And the gold to silver ratio is what, in the 70s? And its natural ratio is like between 9 and 15 to 1. So really gold is...
It hasn't been 15 in the longest time, but yeah, you want it to go down around 50 to 55.
The thing is, the ratio isn't really set by what you can get it out the ground at. It's demand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think
you know,
we'll ever see those ratios again because those ratios were set back before silver was used as such an industrial application, or maybe photography, right?
Yeah, the reason that there's more ounces of silver than gold is because silver is used so much in industry. They need more of it. If they kept it at 15 to 1, there just wouldn't be enough for electronics, jewelry, medical.
Yes, it is something used. I saw this diagram showing, and I don't know, you can certainly play around with numbers, but it showed silver, the above ground uses of silver, what's available is less than gold. And I think they were playing with the numbers because they were basically making the point that most of silver is used and not treasured like gold is. So when you have it being used in clothing and biomedics and photography, well, not so much photography anymore, but electronics and the like, it's more used.
They use it in everything now. They even put it in synthetic countertops to keep bacteria down, and those
You
little
have to
mats
remember,
you put in your sink to keep bacteria from forming.
it's not a sign of wealth where gold is.
Right, that's right, exactly right.
well, you could just basically say to yourself that gold is cash and silver isn't. The silver is kind of an in-between.
Yeah, I think that's more the accurate thing. It's in between, or both. It's not in between.
Both,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you take the view that we're in deflation or have been in deflation, then things get cheaper and cash gets more valuable. So you're looking at the dominant cash, which is the dollar, going up.
Right.
And you're looking at the emerging nations' cash going down, and the euro kind of going down against the dollar, but not really going down against the emerging nations. So in terms of deflation, we have seen 2 years of deflation, and the world's media is now forecasting deflation. Excuse me, my attitude is we've seen it, it's done. There may be a little bit that's not come out of the pipeline yet, but there's probably no more going into the pipeline. You know, I mean, trading the media is not a good way to keep your money. So in those circumstances, gold is now looking at forecasting the next thing, which is either more deflation than is forecasted, or, you know, the end of deflation. Gold is looking ahead. It's looking a year ahead. So, you know, question then becomes, what will the deflationary situation this year make the central banks do this year to create more or less deflation next year? And the answer is they're going to print the big Jesus out of the dollar.
Right.
And euro. And, you know, I mean, but like the countries that can print the most are the ones with the highest value on their currencies, and they're, you know, the reserve status nations.
Well, I think part of the reason why we haven't seen the dollar really devalue at all is because of all the printing we've done so far with the 3 phases of quantitative easing. Banks are holding that cash. In other words, the money that's being sent to Europe to pay off debts and stuff like that, a lot of that money is staying over there. But also, a lot of the big banks are holding on to cash, both digital and printed. And until it gets dispersed, the dollar is going to remain the strongest of the weak currencies, which is every currency.
Yeah.
Interesting currencies, but it's also the survival of the strongest. And you look at the currencies and you say, what would I prefer to the dollar? Well, you know, at some point the eyes of the world will fall upon alternative dollar. You know, like, what are we looking at here? We're looking at fragmentation from the edge, and the dollar's at the center.
Right. Right.
You know, now nobody's looking at gold. So we have to decide, are the central banks unloading gold never to buy it again? Or are the central banks unloading gold and will have to buy it again? We have to actually make a rational decision, and this is very difficult because we actually are confronted with 2 different central bank policies. Now, gold is going down because central banks are selling it. And, you know, I'm stepping aside from all the arguments of the kind of the gold bugs here. They just don't like to discuss certain things. Well, one certain reality is central banks are selling gold because they don't want it so much as they want the cash it brings.
Right.
And it seems to me that the central banks of the West are willing to be without their gold. Why? They could be saying to themselves, we got something new coming and gold's not going to matter. And, you know, they're all looking at digital currency. So if you have gold and you have digital currency and you have VAT tax or sales tax, coming in and out of gold is going to cash register, ka-ching, for the government. And they don't mind if you're in gold or if you're in land or if you're in Ferraris. They basically say, well, we make our money when you capitalize your capital gain, we take the tax.
Right.
So there is a possibility that we may only see gold valued in the East. We may see a lockout caused by some digital barrier, you know what I mean, a taxation barrier constructed in the West. This has been done before, dual currencies, no problem to these guys. So I honestly don't know if the West is going to have to kowtow. I do know that the East is going to have a go at breaking their back. And if you were to place your bets, you would have to place your bets on the West because they've won for the last 100 years. So a lot of gold bugs are essentially betting on the collapse of the system, and they go, look at the size of the debt, look at this, look at that, but they're not saying, look at the track record. The guys we're betting on have lost every single time for a century. You know, so we could have difficulties with our gold even if it's the right investment.
Yeah, it's you know, it's the track record and of the West I mean, you're talking about psychology now. And if you're implying that the alternative or a dual currency system will be a digital one, that's already happening with the dollar. But then you have things like cryptocurrencies, and you've seen where that's led us because it's not backed by anything.
It has to be backed by the full faith and military power of the United States government, and also by the full legislative power of any government where you happen to live. You watch this now. They're all going to nationalize Bitcoin. They'll all have their own, Ireland coin and US coin and France coin. And all the people are just going to go, great, that's what I wanted to use all my life.
Sure, right, I understand that. And there is something to be said for fiat or government-sanctioned anything. And if everybody accepts it and uses it, yes, it will have strength and it will have value. But that does not take away, in my opinion, the longevity of the precious metals.
No, it doesn't. You're quite right.
But as far as the psychology aspect of it, it's just a matter of time before either we're fooled or we're convinced, or when reality sets in. And then when reality sets in, it could be a massive event of some sort. I'm not saying that a dollar would necessarily collapse or digital currency would collapse or a fiat system itself would collapse, but I think it could certainly there could be some strong movement back to this precious metals. And the reason why I say that is because, and again, I'm not a financial expert, but from what I've been watching with the markets, anytime there is a small dip in the stock market, aside from this past Friday when the unemployment numbers came out here in the United States, anytime there's a little uncertainty as a reason for the loss of 100 points in the Dow or whatever, when it's at 18,000, the precious metals, they go up. All of them go up. And it may not be by much, but it's that safe haven aspect of it that I think that even those in the financial system that want to get rid of it, of the precious metals, because it doesn't serve their agenda, they realize that it is there and that it's a safe haven that's been a safe haven since 700 BC at least.
Oh yeah, but they do have the IRS.
But that's true.
Let's be realistic. They'll go for capital gains. They won't go for confiscation. They'll go for capital gains.
You're exactly right there. Same with the VAT over in the UK. You're right. And I certainly agree with you there. They will find a way to make money off of it, no matter what is the.
We need to have our precious metals stored in the Far East. And even then, with the digital currency system, we're going to have difficulties. And for
$19.95 a month, I can help you with that now. For $19.95 a month.
Yeah, like.
All right.
just start sending them.
When it's and Siren has her comment there, green energy. I mean, let's look at it another way. I mean, there's so many ways to look at this issue. One way is as we're talking about safe haven, and you could also say wartime currency as we move into World War type scenarios. But if you were to say silver stopped being currency when silver became common around the 1800s, silver rushes, and gold stopped being currency, and then you could say that oil is stopping being currency now, or oil struck military. I don't say that there's $1 since the 1900s. As far as I'm concerned, the dollar has been 3 different currencies with the same name attached to it. There was a silver dollar, there was a gold dollar, and then there was an oil dollar. And they called it the dollar just to fool people. Well, if you ask me what's the next thing the powers that be, to use that phrase, would like to monetize, it's the other one that they've always used, energy.
Right.
They always love centrally produced energy, which they monopolize and then overcharge for. Always. And the ability of people, say, to put solar panels on their house is now being taxed in Greece.
Right.
So this tells you that they are going to be working on kind of overpriced energy as their next next scam. Well, they actually want, I mean, seeds or something that has a great multiplier of wealth, and they're trying to get seed banks and they're trying to poison the seeds and all that. So you can actually see everything that is a wealth creator, they're moving in on them all at the same time. It's total war against private wealth.
And everybody needs energy, so everyone needs energy, so it's a very, it's an obvious, certainly would make the most sense for them to do that.
Doesn't that come back to the carbon credit scheme they came up with?
You're dead right. They don't tax in the air you breathe. You're dead right.
Right.
And you could see a cryptocurrency that is also a carbon credit scheme issued by governments. And in fact, the Bank of England are currently experimenting with that idea right now, because we're on the verge of getting a new internet called the Meganet, which uses the Bitcoin protocol. Well, the Bank of England is actually looking into how to use that, how to monetize it, and disperse it.
Right. Wow.
I find it interesting that if you take the mega wealthy people, the countries they live in, they're either living in a country they rule themselves, or they're living in a country that they and a partner rules, or they're living in a country where they're so big and the government is so small that they tantamount to rule it. Like the Rothschilds were in the Channel Islands for so long that they are the government. There's the Isle of Man, is it a duchy? There's every single place in the world. They don't bring their wealth to places where another government controls the territory. They just don't do it. And we are unfortunately not in that nice little club. So we're actually looking at gold for another reason. We're also looking at gold as something that sort of is basically can be exchanged directly for goods without actually incurring a transaction on the system.
Right.
Now here's the thing. Here's the difficulty with that. The average person has no more kind of concept of all this idea than a cricket. So I don't know where the awakening to gold goes, but I can tell you one thing. When sentiment changes, the average person is going to go, oh, gold, wow, gotta get some. And it'll actually just be, from our point of view, it'll just be an ordinary bull market. A bog standard bull market that when you look back at it from 10 years later, that was a bull market, nothing more, nothing less. But all the crap, all the manipulation, all the talk about central banks, that won't be in the history books.
Do you think there'll be an awakening? Because I don't know.
No, there'll just be a bull market. It'll just be a bull market. That's all. The same as what we had was just a bear market. If you went back to any bear market in history and you got stuck in at the ground level, sure, yeah, there was people grinding you under. It was nasty. It was bad. But you didn't get to write the history books. The people who did it wrote the history books. All that stuff isn't in them. And it won't be in the history books this time either. The only time history books get rewritten is when management changes. Do you see that happening?
No, we've given the government too much power.
Well, they could split. They could end up doing it to themselves. Anyway, I'm just looking at an ordinary bull market coming out of an ordinary bear market and trying to decipher it best that way. And all the rest of it is interesting but distracting. But I don't want the capital gains ripped off me in capital gains tax. Not easy. It's kind of like, looking at it too much creates problems. You see too many problems, you might end up not doing the important things.
Well, even if you have to pay a tax on your profits, you still make profits.
Very good point. It's better than losing your, losing your livelihood and losing your pension and losing everything that you have, your future earnings being paid them in lower currency.
Yep.
That is a good point.
What's not fair is when the government taxes you simply because of the profits.
Or they just tax you because they're greedy and lazy.
Right.
And taxes, period, aren't fair, but whatever.
But really, they're going to go after the pension funds first, and they haven't finished taking the pension funds, so we're not on the radar.
Yeah, I was reading the I think it was the Wall Street Journal actually, and it was saying that big hedge fund managers are starting to move money over into Europe by Euro stocks to take advantage of the QE there. So if they're pulling money out of the US market, and Obama has allowed banks to speculate with retirement funds again, the same thing that happened just before the 2008 crash. What do you think they're preparing for?
Well, Europe was destabilizing, and all of a sudden the euro's going down. Oh wow, what a surprise. Dollar's going up, there's no riots on the street in America, so the dollar can go up. Screw them. Screw the people, I mean. But this is a case of removing the band-aid off the last worst cut and putting it on the next worst cut. These guys are no more clever, no more powerful than a bunch of baboons. Like, anyone who's worked in large companies knows what I'm talking about here. They can't tell the truth to each other because it's unacceptable. They ruin their career. Therefore, someone sets it driving towards a brick wall, and it has to reach it and it has to crash. Now the question is how it all works out. Well, the guys who are brightest all have their little exits and their parachutes, and they're kind of moving out just before it hits. But we see that happening too.
Yeah, but like I thought it was interesting they're pulling their capital out and they're replacing it with other people's.
Yeah, well,
so
I suppose
that tells me the rug is about to be pulled in the coming future.
I think you're right. If you're say you're a chief executive of General Motors or something, or ICI or whatever, pick your company. Now, you go out and you borrow a whole load of money at minus interest rates, and you buy a whole bunch of stock, and you cash in your options, and you retire and ride off into the sunset on your horse with your saddlebags full of gold. Meanwhile, what have you actually done? You've actually asset stripped the company and substituted the assets for debt. This is as old as the hills. Except instead of private wealth companies coming in and hostile takeovers, taking over a company in a hostile takeover, and then asset stripping it and filling it full of fees and debt, what you've got instead is you've got the company's own management's doing it.
Yeah, they're getting rid of assets, replacing it with liabilities.
Yeah, so all those unbeatable corporations with all the big trillions of money that the governments can't get their hands on, and the corporations won't bring the money home, they're being looted. Minus interest rates does it.
Mm-hmm.
Debts is being put in. Where's the money going? Well, it's a very interesting question. But I can tell you one thing: management are taking their slice, and the stockholders. I don't see them getting. How many companies have you seen buying their stock back and giving cash payouts to their to their stockholders? Dividends up or down? So all we have asset stripping has moved into corporation management. Now, the corporations are sitting on trillions, and they've had a dominant position given into them for the last decade or two. Maybe since NAFTA. And they've basically screwed the world and built up these huge war chests of money. That could take a long time to siphon off. The guys who say this is all coming to the end fairly soon, the end is a very slow thing.
Yeah.
Far better to look at gold as it's in a bear market. When will the bull market start? I don't care about all the other stuff. Meanwhile, is there something else I can look at too? And I think you're right about the rug being pulled onto the stock market. All it needs is the public to be in enough. The rug will be pulled to take their money off them. Then the pros will buy back in. Margin holdings are a record high, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's it. That's enough. Get the last guys in, pull the trapdoor.
I'm actually thinking the bond market's going to take a dip first, though. That's looking a lot more rocky.
You're looking at short-term interest rates trending up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, no, long-term rates should be the giveaway, but in this case they're manipulating more. Short-term rates were the giveaway for all the European problems. and they're creeping up in the short-term T-bonds and T-bills, the notes. I agree with you, but I'm really distrustful of the information.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't short it, but if it crashes, I'll be buying some.
Would you buy bonds in a crash?
Well, you can always bet on the government to regain control of energy and start taxing its citizens again.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they're never reluctant.
Yeah, I mean, if you bet against the government, I think you're going to lose 9 times out of 10, at least. I wouldn't go all in, but I'd pick up some.
Well, taking the big picture on bonds, and I'm going to go really big. It's a 300-year low in interest rates. It's also a 150-year low. And it's a 68 or 64-year low. And it's a 30-year low. So all those swings are all, interest rates are at the low. Now, if you say to yourself, what happens at bond market turns? The price of gold normally shoots up temporarily. It doesn't count. Yeah. That's not the trend. That's the turn. That's the dislocation at the turn. So if you have a long period of inflation, gold might go up or it might go down. But gold always spikes up when the dislocation of the bond turn is happening. And that's what the 1970s was. Gold spiked up, came back again. Now, if you have a gigantic bond turn, it is reasonable to expect such fluctuations to take longer and be bigger. Not getting scientific about it, but churning can be a massive trading range. What if we're in for a 10-year trading range with asset prices flipping by 50% up and 50% down? That could happen very easily. In which case, range trading bonds for the brave,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so much
in the stock market as well. I mean, the Dow Jones is in quite a big kind of megaphone type pattern. Could easily swing down, swing back up over the next 10 years.
There's a really good Dow theory, kind of like I don't think it's the signal in. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if you know your Dow theory and you compare the transportations and the utilities to the Dow Jones,
yes,
the ones that represent the economy look so much worse than the ones that represent, the Dow Jones average is really the financials these days.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you look at the financials, the better it looks, and the more you look at the rest of the world, the worse it looks. And on Elliott wave terms, it really looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, a 2 up, and spiking down into a wave 3. I mean, it really doesn't look good. But Elliott wave, you could end up changing your mind tomorrow. It does one more tick and the whole count changes. It's reactive, not forecasting. But churning, I think you can bet on that. Buy low, sell high, keep doing it, vice versa.
No, the best place to park your money in that scenario could be the VIX, actually. If it was really volatile.
Every time it drops, jump in, go along it. Yeah, you have a good point.
Yeah, it takes some of the risk out of trying to pick direction.
In which case, the better way to do it is by finding something that represents the VIX and shorting a bearish VIX. You know what I mean? Catch time value going towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Those ETFs that are leveraged, they tend to have time decay built into their price. No, don't know about that. I'd need to look into it, but common sense says it should work very well.
Yep.
Do you trade it?
No, it's something I've been looking into for a long time, but I've never went ahead and done it.
Mm. By the way, when did you change your avatar?
Oh, now 2 days ago.
How about you guys? You're basically trading. I know you don't think you're trading, but you are trading. You're trading premium on your coins. Premium expansion or premium contraction. Premium served you very well in silver during the bear market. Anyone note the historical trend on what happens to premium when prices stop falling?
I've already told these guys about the death of the numismatic market in 2010.
Well, I'd say the modern numismatics have outperformed bullion like tremendously in the last couple of years. What happened?
The 2010, 2011, that didn't happen. No, I saw premiums drop massively.
When the market was rising?
Yeah, they pulled it back when silver topped out and gold topped out.
So if you were doing, say you were in modern numismatics from, for example, 2009, how would you have done compared with bullion, say for the following 3 years or 2 years?
2 years.
I'm not clued in on this.
Again, it depends on the coin, but I mean, I'll give you an example. I bought a lot of like Lunar Tiger coins and all the kookaburras for an average of $2 over spot. When silver corrected and it fell all the way down to the low 20s, I was selling those coins for $90 a piece on average.
So
paying an average of $20.
The premium was expanding as the price of the underlying bullion was falling.
Yeah,
that's
the premiums have started to come down now, though, that we fell under. When we fell under 20, the premium started to collapse. I mean, for example, I have a lot of the 2009 kookaburras, and they used to go for $100 a piece, and they fell to 90. And now they're going for about $40 to $45 on average.
Well, this is what dragged me in, and into the numismatic, because I mean, numismatics was totally new to me, and like the expertise that's here is just way beyond what I see around, on average.
I'll admit I got into it just by luck and a bit of blind faith, actually. Like when I first started getting into silver back in 2009, I just wanted to get the most out of this for my buck, and a good buddy of mine who told me a lot about the markets, he suggested I pay the extra premium and get the Perth Mint stuff, the Lunar series and the kookaburras, not so much the koalas, but those two series.
Served you well.
Yeah, served me very well. It's harder to do now, though, because everyone who's remained in the market is more clued up to what to buy now.
It's almost like Russian roulette.
Yeah, well, you see, we all sense there's change, but we all sort of sense that we might be early, and we're kind of being so careful.
Well, it's not that. Look, the mints know what's going on. I mean, they're kind of clued in as much as we are. So look at Rwanda. They've increased their mintages year on year on year on year. So they've taken the value out of it year on year on year on year.
Mm-hmm.
The Gods of Olympus is another example. The first 3 came out at 1,500. Now they're at 2,000.
Yeah, it's the mints that are going to kill this market, because they're getting very greedy. You can see that with you can use that Bible series as an example about jumping the shark. Now that's the first mint to do it. Perth Mint will do it to themselves like they did it back in 2010. They'll start coming out with all kinds of weird series. I mean, they even had a traffic sign series, for God's sake. Who wants to buy a coin with a stop sign on it or whatever?
Right here.
Well, if we see collectibles going crazy, I mean, that's the time we're at a top again, but that would probably be the next top.
He's not talking about the Perth Mint. You're talking about the The what's it called? The Royal Ram, right? The Ram. That's the one that came out with the koalas and those signs and stuff.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the Perth Mint actually had it was a sign series, signs across Australia or something.
Yeah, it was the Royal Australian
It was
Mint.
Ram. Yeah,
Oh,
I like that series.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, I like that series. I think NAPC liked that series.
Yeah, the last one's out this year. There was only 3 in the series.
Yeah, but I'm just pointing out it's kind of an odd thing to base a coin series on. Traditionally, they would choose like certain events in time, or animals that people care about. Now it kind of ventured off into.
If you're looking for what gets people going on collectibles, it's what they latched onto when they were in their teens, or maybe in their junior years, and then eventually they get the money that they can kind of. So you get old men buying toys, if you like to be very cynical about it. So if you want to say, you know, what is the ultimate collectibles, we need to look back 10 years and then those people, maybe back 15, 20 years, and say, you know, what was the big things. And that's what will come back, maybe stamped on a bar of gold or, you know, stuck on a coin of silver, and people will go, this rings my nostalgia bell.
So I should be keeping an eye out for Power Ranger coins.
They have an affection for it, you know. So I don't know. I mean, some people are just so well clued in on spotting, you know, what will become a great collectible fashion long before.
Mm. But notice there's one thing that always seems to do well, and that is dogs.
Dogs, cat coins. So who's going to bring out the first cat coin set?
There's already cat. What do you mean? The Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, true enough.
The Isle of Man has a huge cat coins. Gold, silver.
People love those.
They've got angels, babies.
But dogs and cats, it's something that a lot of people have a lot of affection for. You see it on everything, actually, not just coins. I mean, you see, back when I was looking at things to sell on eBay, I noticed that one of the top sellers was actually T-shirts with dogs on them. People just like little furry animals they can cuddle.
But remember also that if we're right, and if gold and silver pick up from here, then you're looking at the entry of the average person, not the aficionado, not the precious metal, not the contrarian. We're contrarians, but you have to look at a more public mindset. Look at that baseball coin last year. That was a shot across the bows. You know, what will the reader of Sports Illustrated want on a coin that makes them buy it? That kind of thing, you know. If it's not on satellite television, it's probably not popular enough. So, you know, Perth Mint have spotted, they're being very good at spotting these niches, but US Mint, they're no slouches.
How about serial killer coins? Jack the Ripper, Ted Bundy.
Do you know, in a bear market, it's exactly what they go for. When the negative sentiment gets going in a bear market.
Well, Seattle would buy them out. You'd remortgage the house.
Excuse me, guys, I have to drop out for a moment. I'll be back shortly.
I think that when decision makers start, or those heavy hitters start coming out in the public, because I know they do it behind closed doors, but when the heavy decision makers and heavy movers start really publicizing that they're buying gold, and hey, they like the Perth Mint, you know, Lunar series, or they like, you know, the 5.9s Canadian stuff. As soon as they do that, it'll catch like a wildfire. Like rappers. If a rapper says they like this type of shoe or whatever, you know, the youth just cling to it for some odd reason. So if like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates come out and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna start buying. Hey guys, I just went and bought me the full set of Lunar series, or I just bought all these koalas. I guarantee you that stuff will catch quickly.
Basically, what you're trying to say is we need a rapper to walk around with a kilo gold coin around his neck.
But Micmac, he buys all the lunar coins, and he's kind of famous.
Who?
Micmac. Just saying.
So, but I mean, going back to what you were saying, but don't they do that already now? I mean, they go around wearing huge necklaces that are made out of gold, and you know, everybody can see that.
Well, yeah, but the difference is rappers are terrible. Rappers are nothing but facades. Like
Fine. Actors, same thing. You see them walking around with gold and you know, everybody as they get rich, they always put gold on them to make, you know, that's how they like to show themselves off. You remember Guido back in the day with the 3 buttons? No, you know, his shirt would be 3 buttons down, and he had that big chain, gold chain around it.
Yeah, the Mr. T Starter Kit. They just suck. And I was reading yesterday that all these rappers that they come across like they try to come across like they have all this money, but we all know they don't. Like Ja Rule, he had to do 2 years because he didn't file taxes. He didn't file taxes for like 2 years, and so he had to do 2 years in jail. I mean, these guys are just retarded. I mean, all these people. Ludacris came up on the books as only making $55,000 last year. I mean, these guys aren't there. They try to put on this facade like they have all this money, but they really don't. So I think you need someone who's a true player who has a lot of doggone ass, you know, instead of just, you know, they look like they have a lot. They have a lot of cattle instead of big hat.
So what you're saying is Ludacris is living up to his name, and Ja Rule has a new prison term that he can write songs about.
Oh, exactly. I should post that. Where was that shit that was reading that issue? You know what? I'm gonna post that, and it's crazy. I mean, it blew my mind. And it just named Big Pun and Fat Joe and all these folks. They're all filing bankruptcy. Where's that article that I was reading? I'm gonna find that and post it.
I think if you looked at a lot of famous people, performers, whatever, you'd see a trend that way because they try to live up to a certain standard, right? And it's just like the rest of us, only they have a little more money to waste. If you're always trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're not going to have any fucking money. You're just going to have debt.
And the thing is, if they were to just take all that money that they are making, they will be out of control rich. I mean, just wealthy. But they don't want to do that because they have to have a $200,000, $300,000 car.
Yeah.
Let me. Where's that thing at? That I was looking at. I'm gonna send out the link. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I need Mark Cuban to start to just say, hey, buy gold. I'm buying a whole bunch of gold. I just need him to do it one good time.
I think a lot of the population don't have any idea that gold or silver can come in anything other than jewelry as well.
Right.
Some people wouldn't like. What do you mean gold coins? That's only something that exists in Disney pirate movies, you know.
Actually, I discovered something over here. A lot of people actually think gold and silver are in our currency. A lot of people think the modern day £1 coin over here is actually a gold coin, and that the 50p's and 20p's and stuff are all silver. I remember I used to work in a bar, and back when I was a student, this old guy came in. He was talking about it actually, and I pointed out that they were just junk metal basically, and his jaw was like hanging open. He couldn't believe it.
Seriously, wow.
That raises a whole lot of new questions. If people really do think that, then they must think gold's worthless. If it's in modern day coins that people like toss to bums on the street.
So I say, hey, listen, gold and silver, I mean, they're biblical. They're not going anywhere. They're biblical.
Yeah.
So what was the topic before me and Fi kind of like derailed the whole hangout and ended up talking about volatility options and stuff? You were talking about flipping acumen. Oh, I was going to ask. We were talking about this in a private hangout earlier in the week. Actually, do people here like keep record of their coin flips, like their sales, like their profit percentage and stuff like that? Because I do. I keep a spreadsheet, and a lot of people said they actually don't.
Yeah, I can't understand that either. I keep complete spreadsheet.
Like,
Same here.
I don't sell enough, but I do keep. I have a book that I write down every purchase and the cost of every purchase, including shipping. So if I buy a coin for $20 and it costs $30 to get it here, that coin costs me $50. Like that's what goes into the book. But I don't sell enough to actually track it. The only thing I've actually sold was my Walker Zombuffs, and I had not recorded what I bought them for. I started the book after that, but they were around $23 a piece, and I sold them for $50 each. So I know I made a profit, just I didn't record that profit.
You're right.
Yeah, I keep track of everything I buy or trade or sell, whatever it is.
I also keep meticulous notes of how much money I make, how much comes in, and how much goes out, to where it goes, everything. Like I have a separate book for that too.
I don't do that. I don't do that for anything except for my PMs.
I found out like more money if I don't track it all.
I like to know what the profit margin I can make on each coin is, so that I know which ones to focus on. Like I know just from my track record going back, I got records going back 6 years. I know that at what price to buy things at if I want to make a certain percentage on it, after eBay fees, postage, and everything like that. And I ignore anything that I make less than 20% on.
I just don't flip enough. Shipping from Canada or within Canada is just, it's infuriating, and it eats any profits that I could make. That's why I don't. That's why the only thing I flipped actually were the Zombucks Walkers, because I had 2 rolls of them and I could ship them the cheapest way possible, which is letter mail. And if they went missing, then I had enough to throw another one in an envelope and send it out. But to send things that I only have one of a kind of, you'd have to send with tracking, and then you're looking at like, $50. Fuck that.
Well, look, I keep track just because I've always wanted, to see when the end of the journey, if I made a profit or loss. But I'm also measuring it in different ways also, you know what I mean? I have, I'm keeping the figures and the numbers and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's also, I'd like to see if it's the same purchasing power. That's what's more interesting to me. So I know what I want to buy today, and I know what I'm saving my money for to buy at today's price. Am I going to be able to buy it when I'm done saving? That's my question. In gold and silver.
I'm just saving it just to see what number I can hit by the time I turn 60 or 70. Like, okay, if the target amount is, 100 ounces of gold, and I hit that when I'm 40, well then damn it, come 50, I'm gonna see if I can hit 150 ounces. Which is gonna
How about this? I'll trade it all in if I can choose when to die. What you talking about? If I make it until 70, no one's guaranteed 80 years old or 70 years old.
Like, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I don't, whatever age. I mean, you could get hit by a truck tomorrow. So
but there has to be. It can't just be I'm gonna save for the rest of my life just to see how far I'm gonna get. It has to be like you set a goal for yourself. I want to retire early, or I want to, you know what I mean?
Well, when you retire, I mean, you have to define retiring. Retiring is, okay, what is your definition of retiring? Is it, okay, I no longer have to work, and no matter what, I have a steady income of money that meets my monthly operating expenses. Is that what you're saying?
In a way, where I'm not working and money's being generated for me.
Right.
Whether it is because I'm retiring at 60 and I've got enough of a pension, or I'm retiring at 50 because I own my own company, it's running itself.
Yeah, or like many of us, you're in the military, and you do your 20 years or your 25 years, and you retire. And
there you go. Yep.
But what I'm saying is, you wouldn't. You have your income off of that, whatever your hustle is. I mean, whether it was military, whether it was you owned your business, or you hit the lottery. The purpose of you have to determine, and each person has their own answer, but you have to determine if you're saving your precious metals for whatever reason. Is it to one day you hit a certain amount, cash it all in, buy a house, and live off the residuals of that precious metal sale? Or is it just to accumulate wealth and transfer it to your kids? Or is it, just to fucking wallow around with it, put it all in your bed, and just go, Donald Duck? No, it's not Donald Duck. Who's that damn duck?
Scrooge McDuck, but yeah.
McDuck, and just go swimming in it.
Yeah, all three of the above, bro. To me, it's all three of the above. Is it going to be things that I pass off to my children? Not really, because I've got other investments that will be passed on to my children, but there are some coins that I would love my children to have just because they're rare and they're collector's items. So there are things that I'm putting away. Would I like to act like Scrooge McDuck? Of course I would. Fill up a bathtub and take a little swim. But I think, it's more about the first one. It's a means to a goal. It's buying a house or buying whatever it is.
Yeah. I'll buy that.
It's just an easy way to save money, I find it.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy spending the money and buying the thing almost like you purchased something.
Exactly. But
at the same time, it's gold.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. Like, you have to know, first of all, you have to know yourself. Are you a spender or are you a saver? So I know me. I like to spend money on shit, and I think Sharp and Shiny had a video on that earlier, like just buying crazy stuff that really you don't really need. So why not buy something that really, like you just said, 24K. You're buying, you're fulfilling that urge that you got, but yet you're buying investment. You're buying security.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a bonus for those people that like to spend money, like to buy shit, like from shopaholics or whatever. If at least you're buying silver and gold, you have something to show for it instead of pressboard furniture and plastic fucking teacups.
Pictures. This is where we spent spring. Let me show you where we spent summer. Oh, fall was beautiful in Montreal. You should have seen it.
Question is though, is this sound investment advice or is it justifying a bad habit?
Well, it's not just justifying a bad habit. Like I said, to each person is different.
Oh, rationalizing it.
I am a spender, and I've never been able to save. This is the first time that I've been able to save. I'm 40 years old, so this is the first time I've been able to save.
It's a little from column A and a little from column B. I think it depends on the person.
Yep. You know how I learned how, and I'm the same way. I'm damn near 40 myself. What I had to do, I had to go. I live in one state. I literally had to go like 6 states over and open up a checking account there, so that as I said, and I didn't have a debit card or any type of card, any online access or anything like that. I had to do that so that I physically couldn't get to the money. I had to like play defensive with my own self. You know what I'm saying? And some people have to do extreme matters because they know themselves. They know that they'll spend it because they'll say, "Oh, this is an emergency. It's such an emergency. I really need a pizza." You know?
You did just say pizza, right?
I sure did.
Yomi King is watching this shit, like nodding his head.
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying. Like I've taken like locked up credit cards in my lockbox before. You know, taking them out of my wallet. You know, oh, I have no money in my bank account. I'm fucking broke until next payday or whatever. Fuck it, lock up the credit cards. I don't need to buy fucking soda pop and fucking beef jerky at the store with credit. Like, it's not necessary.
Yep. That was me today. Going grocery shopping. I don't even go there with a credit card or a debit card. I go there with strictly the cash that I have. And damn it, if I'm over, then I guess, you know, one banana got to go back till I get under the weight where I can meet my quota for the week. But people need to do that nowadays. That's how you get ahead.
I didn't even go like I go grocery shopping on Sundays. I didn't even go today because I looked in the freezer and I have all kinds of shit in there. I got vegetables, I got ground beef, I got milk in the fridge. If I went grocery shopping, I'd just buy a bunch of shit that I really don't fucking need. Potato chips.
You got milk?
Yep.
You got milk in your coins.
You got milk on my fucking milk spots.
That was good.
Yeah, it's nice to not go out and spend $300 on groceries.
Dude, and tell me, and think about it. I was telling them folks the other day, like, damn, you gotta be wealthy just to damn eat healthy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Exactly. That rhymes, and it should be on a T-shirt.
I'm claiming it. Telling y'all right now.
Well, you can get a complete meal at McDonald's for what? $1, $2.
Right. You know.
Try to get a salad for $2.
Right. Try to get a damn salad for $2. A bag of chicken costs damn $9.
Try to get a fresh juice drink for $2.
Yeah, it's like $9.
There's some bottled water that
super
costs
Silent
only $2.
Green.
That's a personal indulgence of mine. I do buy Perrier and Voss. I'm a douchebag when it comes to water.
So for $10, you can feed a family of 5.
Yeah.
Or you can get a kilo of apples, a couple of kilos, kilo and a half. Everybody get an apple or so.
Oh, Simon just posted an interesting question. Has anyone here sold back to dealers recently? I'm guessing she's bringing this up because of the news unit video lately, where he was saying he tried to sell back to some dealers and they lowballed him.
They'll always lowball you.
No, but by the sounds of it, it was really bad.
I wouldn't believe anything that guy said. So, is there someone else that we can use?
That's true, but if I was a dealer and someone was trying to sell to me, the first thing I would think of is they're desperate and they need money. So give them as little as possible and see if I can maximize my profits. And I'm just a guy. I don't even own a business, so I'm sure dealers would think even more cruelly.
Hmm.
Well, the thing is, you've got so many options to sell today that, you know, it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, but the most liquid way is still going to a dealer. You know, you can dump it all at once, you get the check, and, you know, within days or a week or two, you got the money. If you try to sell it privately, it can take you ages. I mean, I mentioned before that when I was selling off some of my older Kookaburras, like all my 2008s, I had 79 up for sale, and it took me 6 months to get rid of them. Although I got the price I wanted, it still took 6 months. If I went to a dealer, I would have got like spot price, but I would have got the cash almost immediately.
I like what Silver Woman said, especially with today's prices, only the desperate would sell. Is Micmac selling again?
Huh.
Yeah, I'm a fucking jerk. Siren, you said refuse to buy back altogether. Did they totally flat out refuse according to this video? Because, I don't know, if you're lowballing, you stand to make a profit. Why would they just say, no, we don't want your crap back?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. So Silver Siren's putting on her mad scientist cape. To all those watching this that can't see on the live side, Silver Siren says she may have to do a little experiment. But Ence Purdy knew the situation. And to any of those of you who don't know, Ence Purdy is a piece of shit. So. And again, that's just my opinion. He seems to be one of those people that he's a know-it-all, and he's one of those people that buys friendships. Like he seems to be sending out free coins to people, and he's seems to be counseling fools like Micmac into spending large sums of money on rare Perth Mint items. So yeah, piece of shit. And 24K says he loves me. Bro love. I'm the only one talking. Someone else jump in here before I make myself look even more of a fool.
I tell folks, when I sit down and they ask me, hey, how do you feel about investing in metals and all this stuff? The first thing I say is, listen, you have to get what the hell you want to get. I said, now, people will tell you different strategies about flipping. They'll tell you about holding it, you know, low mintages and all that stuff. And all that is true. And all that has a place. But at the end of the day, you get what the hell you want to get. And some people may like the way of, like my wife, she hates the American Eagle. You hear this? She can't stand it. And she can't stand a buffalo. But She loves the maple leaf, right? And so me, I'm like, okay, that gives me the green light to get as many maple leaves as I want because she likes it. So, it's people get what they want. Whether if it's a 1980 whatever panda that costs 3 times the value of a price of gold ounce, or you get you a doggone brand new maple or Philharmonic and pay $8 over spot someplace. But you got to get what you want to get.
Yeah, listening to the rest of us tell you, like, don't let anyone tell you what you should or shouldn't be buying. I mean, like you said, buy what you want, buy what you can afford. Don't go overboard. Don't let other people counsel you into buying extremely expensive, ridiculous shit. You know, like it just doesn't make sense to me.
But it's worth more than a kilo of gold. I mean, come on, in APC.
2 kilos of gold is worth more than a kilo of gold.
I agree. I was looking at the, you know how, because we all just got this thing about us. We'll look at the same gold video or the same silver video like 500 times just because it fucking feels good.
Yeah.
And there was a couple videos I saw. I believe it was like a silver cow or silver mouse or something like that, and to get $3,000 for like an MS-70 mouse, there's no way. I'm sorry. We would just, well, if I had that puppy, I would probably sell it. Well, I don't really know. What would you do with that? That's curious. But like the tiger, like the gold tiger, and they want like $3,000 for like a 1-ounce tiger. Hell no. I can't see myself doing that. Not where you can spend $3,000 and get so much other shit. That's just me though, personally. You know.
Well, if something was issued for $1 and is now selling for $20, to think that if you buy it, you're going to make a lot of money off it sometime in the future is flawed thinking, because you already missed the boat. You weren't around 10 years ago when it was $1. Now the person who was is selling it for $20. That person's going to make the profit. You're the biggest sucker, you know?
Exactly. Like even now, everything you're buying now, honestly, yeah, you can flip. I got it. But those sweet spot deals that you're getting, you got to think 10 years down the road from now. Like people who were buying gold when gold was like $700 an ounce, now they're still sitting pretty. They're sitting so pretty right now.
I was buying it around $900 an ounce, but I sold all that gold.
You know what? I did the same thing, brother. I feel like a retard.
Yeah.
Even though they saw when we were buying it like that, and you saw the price go, pushing 2,000 plus and all that jazz. I mean, those are great, exhilarating moments. But right now, even those guys, who are getting in on it at $800, $900, they're still sitting. They're plus 400 right now. I mean, they're up so well. Now, I mean, I can't be mad at you off of that. Imagine 10 years from now what it's going to be. I just need one former president to say, you know what, we need to go back to the gold standard. Just one. Just one, please. You just need to just mention it. Just put it in the air.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing the right thing, though, buying silver and gold. But like we said earlier, at least if you're buying silver and gold, you still have something. to show for it.
Exactly.
Stacking cash is good too.
I would say saving in general is always good. Just as long as you're saving something.
100%. If you get rid of less wealth than you bring in a week, if you spend less than you bring in, then you're doing all right. As long as you don't carry fucking credit card debt. That's the whole point. Get rid of your credit card debt. Anyone watching this live, forget all the fucking shiny fucking coins and all that bullshit. Just get rid of your credit card debt. Then you can buy shiny coins all fucking day long, man.
Preach. Preach. And don't go into debt buying coins and shit. Don't charge that shit.
No, fuck no. Don't pull out your credit card and be all like, I can put it on my credit card. It's not a good thing. Unless you don't have any credit card debt and the website only takes credit card and you already have that $934 sitting there that you were going to spend on that whatever anyway, and you put it on your credit card and then you immediately go to your online banking and you transfer the funds over and you're done, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Mick Mac, he charged everything. He didn't spend, he claims he did not spend credit on the coins. What he did was he spent the money he made on coins, but he put everything else on credit. So groceries, fucking rent, whatever else. So day-to-day living, which is the exact same fucking thing, people. You don't want to rack that shit up. You're trying to save money, you're trying to invest in your retirement or invest in the future or your children's future. You can't use credit doing that. If you're paying 19% interest, ain't no bank, ain't no gold coin, ain't nothing going to give you 19% interest. But when you use your credit cards, you're paying someone 19% interest. There's no point in doing that. That's the opposite of what you're trying to do. Fuck those credit cards, man.
Totally agree.
Holy shit, everyone's muted but me. Welcome to the Not a Polite Canadian show, where we will tell you to go fuck yourself. And really, we don't care, we mean it. Go fuck yourself. Coming up on today's episode, how to go fuck yourself. No, fuck, whatever. Someone else is going to talk, man. You don't want to hear me.
No, I have my cousin's getting ready to come over next weekend, right? And he was talking finances and budgeting. I'm like, that's cool. And he was like, yo, what I can do is I can just open up me, a credit card account. There's $5,000, but I won't spend anywhere near that much. Only thing I'm gonna put on it, is food here and there when I'm out traveling. That's it. I'm like, dude, stop. Just stop. You have it's like luggage when you go on a trip. People with big bags tend to fill that joker all the way up when they go on a 2-day excursion. I mean, I'm just saying, why would you get that when you don't have any debt at all? Why would you go get a credit card? You don't need it.
No. Like, I use my credit card and then I pay it, and I don't know, the credit card company fucking loves me. They keep offering me, my credit card's like $6,000 limit or something like that, and they keep offering me to up it, but with the new laws, they can't automatically up my limit, and I just keep tearing up the notices. I don't need more credit than that, man. Fuck it. And when I use it, I pay it. I think that's why they keep sending me those notices. Because for years I sat on $16,000 worth of credit card debt, and they didn't offer to up it then.
Oh, of course not. It's when you're getting right. It's when you're getting right is when they're like, you He's doing something right. Oh my. Let me try to squeeze him for a little bit more.
Yeah, because I'm not paying that 19% interest on $16,000 anymore, so they want to entice me by giving me more credit so I can rack it again.
Yep.
Make money off of me some more.
Yep.
When I'm already maxed, they don't have to fucking offer me anymore. I'm already
Right.
Took me 14 months to pay off 16,000. No, 14 or 15 months to pay off $16,000. And I'll tell you, for the first 4 or 5 months, I lived off of peanut butter and toast and ramen noodles.
Dude, a can of tuna fish costs 78 cents, and I'm straight. Hold on, I gotta go cuss my kids out. What the hell?
Yeah, to tackle huge debt, you have to make sacrifices. You can't keep carrying on the way you have been. So anyone watching this in the live version or later on, if you're looking at this and thinking, but you're still carrying debt, you really have to make sacrifices, at least for a few months.
Yeah. Do you need all those television programs? Do you really need all those I mean, think about it. HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, AMC, I mean, all of that. Go
Yeah.
to a friend's house. It's an hour.
Or just buy the TV pack, which is cheaper than buying the
Like, hey, Wendy, I'll be over there on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, and I'll bring, you know, a 6-pack of Coke or something like that.
George says, pay your debt. You will live a different life when you don't owe anyone. And I agree. You also breathe a lot easier. It's weird. You don't notice, or you may notice, you may not notice the massive weight on your shoulders when you're carrying, well, I had $16,000 worth of debt. It's this crushing, debilitating thing that squishes you and keeps you from living. But once you get rid of it, it's like you can stand up, you know? When you can get out of bed in the morning. You don't have to fight some monster sitting on your chest. It's amazing. The sunlight is brighter, the air, you can actually smell the air. You're like, oh, it's a beautiful day. You ever see those people? They're morning people. Those people don't have debt. Silver Woman says night people don't have debt either because they get paid better. Yeah, night people do get paid, generally get paid better, depending on what you're doing. Silver Siren asks, have we exhausted all the topics? Hardly, but the Hangout would have to go on forever for us to exhaust all the topics. Name a topic, any topic. I got a topic. I follow this one person on YouTube. You probably all wouldn't be into it. She's a gamer, SS Sniper Wolf, and she's a young person in her 20s, 22, 23, something like that. Seems to have quite a bit of cash. And if you watch her videos, you find out that she's a business owner, early 20s, and a business owner. And you find out if you watch all her videos and piece it all together that she started her business when she was a teenager, and she went to Walmart or Costco or something like that with her mother, and in one of the clearance bins there was these little toys. I don't know what toy it was, like a little action figure, and they were like 50 cents a piece or something like that. So she spent $19, bought a ton of them, and her mother was like, I think it was her mother. I may have some of these the little facts a little off. Might have been father, but I think it was mother. Anyway, they're like, what are you going to do with all those action figures? And she said she's going to sell them on eBay. So they all laughed at her. Sold them on eBay for about 20-something bucks a piece, made a profit, and has been doing that ever since. Eventually got better hookups, different products, you know, like no longer a teenager buying shit in a bargain bin at Walmart and selling it on eBay, but actual business type hookups. And she's a successful early 20s person, you know. So you don't save money, or if you're in this to make money, buying and selling gold and silver coins is not an easy way to make money. Silver Siren may be able to make a good go of it, but I can't, and a lot of people I know can't. You can't do it, or it's difficult, or like, was it George or someone had said that they sold all their kookaburras, but it took 6 months. Like, it's not easy, it's not quick. If you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy gold and silver coins and sell them, I'm going to flip them, I'm going to make money. Yeah, you might want to think again. Might want to hit up Walmart, the bargain bin.
And at the very least, if that's your plan, you better invest in a whole heap of airtights, because people are, and I'm not mad at them, but people are very critical. If there's like one little dust flake here on the coin, you know, they go crazy. They're like, no, I'm not going to give you optimal price, take off $200. I'm like, what, dude? Seriously? Bye.
No, that's true, especially if you're selling on a place like eBay where bad reviews can tank your little eBay site. You need to take care of your customers, and if your customer's not fucking satisfied, even if he is a picky bitch, you have to stroke his happy member or whatever.
You do. So and that really takes you, and you become two types of people. And like real estate, you become two types of people. Well, you can either, when you buy your coins, you're buying nothing but VU. Okay? If you do buy coins, you know, that are kind of circulated, just know that you're not going to get the return that you're looking for. So that straight goes into your bullion, you know, your bullion category, where you can really give a damn about it. You're selling it. It goes into your spot category, rather. You know.
George made a good point, saying you need to build your clientele over time too. Nothing happens overnight, and building clientele is an excellent idea for any business. I mean, without clientele, you're not a business anymore, right? And to build your clientele, you have to offer a good quality product that people are going to want to keep buying from you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Think about that.
Definitely.
If you're just, yeah, I don't know where I was going to go with that, but.
I mean, you'll get. I noticed nowadays, at least here where I'm at, the local coin stores, I mean, they rape you. I mean, you would think that and and you've heard people say, develop a good relationship with the LCS and all that jazz. And that's true, and I agree with that. But at the same time, a lot of these coin stores out here, they're hurting because it's not like people are trying to, they're not like, Moe's or Chipotle where everyone's just coming and going. The door is just revolving. It takes really people who know what they want in life from the precious metals know to even seek out a local coin store. So a lot of them just bringing in some pawned off, hawked off gold necklaces or some silver necklaces. They're trying to just get some quick money for and push on.
Yeah. Silver Woman brought up exit strategy, and we talked about that before. You should have an exit strategy.
I totally agree.
Because, like you just said, you don't want to go into a pawn shop to try to fucking turn in your retirement savings so you can buy a loaf of bread and an orange in your old age. Because they ain't gonna get you to buy a loaf of bread or an orange.
That's true. It's true. You go sell some cans and do that.
My exit strategy is to die before I have to sell it, so.
Yeah. Or yeah.
And then the government can take it. Yay, because I have no family or kids or anything. Y'all should probably get a will. I was thinking about that.
You probably do the will thing. I was thinking that and saying it out loud. Yeah, you probably want to get a will thing. Get that going.
I've been thinking about that a lot, and I don't know what the magic number is. Once you have so much in assets, you should probably have a will. Maybe it's once you reach a certain age, you should have a will, because who fucking knows? I'm not 100% how wills work, though. If you have a will and then you end up dying with massive amount of debt, do the people in your will end up inheriting your debt? I don't fucking know.
No. Your assets get sold off, and then whatever you have left over goes to the beneficiaries. That's pretty much the way that it goes. Now, there are other things you can do that will help mitigate that. Obviously, you can piece it off. The older you get, you can start piecing it off, to your beneficiaries. I believe it's right now $5,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a year. But you can start stifling it off as you get older. But the beautiful thing behind having like a safety deposit box or something like that, you can just say, hey, all the contents of my safety deposit box goes to my beneficiary or my heirs.
Yeah, I don't have a will, but I have one friend who I have given keys to my place, and she is under instructions that if anything happens to me, car accident, anything like that, if I die, she's got to come into my house and grab the gold and go, just unlock the door, come in, she knows exactly where it's at, take it, and leave before the government gets their hands on it.
Exactly.
No one knows except her, so fuck it. Well, you guys, but you ain't gonna tell no one, right?
Right. But you got it. But you have to play by those rules, though. I'm a fan. You really do.
Yeah. No, that's good advice. Play by the rules, and you don't get then your loved ones don't get fucked in the end. But like I said, I don't have family or fucking loved ones, so really.
Yep, you have that trusted agent though. You have that trusted agent where you be like, hey, listen, when the fucking Mongolian horde comes, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Same here, Silver Lining. Same here. Because I think when it comes down to it, we just don't want the government to come and tax our stuff, take our stuff, do anything like that. We want our stuff to go to whoever we want it to go to.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, think about that when you. I don't know what the magic point is. Like I said, I don't know how many pieces of silver, or pieces of gold you need to, or you need before you should have a will. But yeah, you just don't want to hand it all over to the government.
No.
In Canada, we are kind of lucky. There is 0 tax on bullion products. So anything 3 nines or better, there's no tax on it. So we don't have to worry about that. But if you die without a will, all your shit goes to the government anyway, I think, or whoever.
I think the other thing is if you have your own place, you gotta have a. How do you leave instructions like, hey, my wealth is hidden here. If anything happens to me, go get it.
Well, kids, it's been fun. I gotta go. I'll probably be back in an hour if you guys are still playing, but I gotta head out right now. So someone else has to take over the talking. Silver Woman, you're up. Who's Chase? Oh, fuck him. And it's Purdy. Fuck! Now I look like a douche. Call him a fucking retard and then leaving before he gets here. It's not fair. Oh well. I don't think he cares what I think of him anyway.
He left me. What? That's funny. Oh well.
Good afternoon, Chase.
What's going on, guys? Looks like we lost a not-so-polite Canadian. Couldn't get to my phone. I've been hanging out with the grandkids and back from the zoo, got my new truck, and been busy with business.
Mm-hmm.
Coins and then market moving, and we'll see what happens. It's funny.
I was going to ask, are you still short the metals?
Yes, I am.
Yep, me too.
Yep. Just like I told you, remember that last hangout before, like on the 17th of January? 17th to the 22nd, I said at 1780 that this would be the best time to enter your position like you and I were talking?
Yep.
You and I are dead ringers, and anyway, it was AtMax who refused to buy my gold. It was 5 gold maples, they wouldn't give me $50 under spot. It was last Wednesday.
Damn. $50.
I deal with their wholesale department, so I don't deal with, this isn't just rinky-dink people calling at AtMax, you know. This isn't people that don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you what happened. So, and they told me they are overloaded, they have too much inventory, and the guy I talked to, which is a VP, a vice president of wholesale, he says that he thinks it's going down. I said, no kidding, because you're short. I was right. I told you guys that when you see the sales on any gold or silver, do not buy. Exit your position. Get into cash and wait. Always come back later. That's how the easiest gauge I can tell you for the just the little guy that doesn't do this on a day-to-day basis is just watch the market. And when you see the ads for free shipping, under spot or over spot, just like $1 or $2 for silver or gold, you need to be saying what's coming. Because every time you sell an ounce of silver to ATMEX, that's the physical inventory in their possession, and they are shorting the market. They are hedging their position by taking out another position short. That's how the system works.
Yeah.
And I always get a bunch of crap from that not-so-polite Canadian because he doesn't understand what happened. Micmac did not put his stuff on a credit card. He put it on in 2012. He got unemployed in 2013, couldn't find a job for over a year while he went through back surgery after he got hurt at the job, and hoping and praying that there'd be some reset that would bring his metal from $28 an ounce that he bought it to back to 50 or 100 where he could buy his house. That's what happened. And life takes over when you're not working, and you have to eat and live. And that's what happened. And he exited his position last year when I told him that he was paying $500 a month in interest. And I told him in 2013, when silver was $28, to sell. And he told me to go put it up my you-know-what. Just like not polite Canadian told me, oh, you're an idiot. Okay. Go look at my track record and see who's the idiot. I was called just like him, just like everybody else, with the same crap. That people don't understand these markets, they don't understand metals, and they don't understand what I collect. I don't collect junk. I collect stuff that 75 people on this planet have in their possession. That's what I want. And I believe you me, I got buyers all over this world clamoring to get what I got. That call me up and want it. I said, you go to hell. I want them. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You can't even find what I got. It's like, what the heck? So that's what happened with the Micmac. The Micmac was just as evil. He told me stuff that this not polite Canadian says just the same crap. And I told Micmac when he sold his crap last year, I said, in January to February, silver will go to 1830. 1780 to 1830. I said, but here's the thing, you're paying $500 a month on your credit cards in interest only. If you take that right now and you add that up between January, that's 6 months. I said, $3,000. I said, you're making more money by selling it now, paying that off, paying your stuff down, and starting fresh. And he did. That's the reason why he sold it when he did. Instead of listening to me when I told him when to sell it, and he told me what this not like, oh, I don't care what the price is. I don't care either. Isn't the idea to accumulate ounces or value? Yes. The idea, when I sold my silver, I had over 10,000 ounces. I could almost get 40,000 right now. That's investing wisely, not stupid. In a bear market, bullion form of silver relieves you of your wealth. It does not maintain your buying power. Numismatic or semi-numismatic coins hedge that position and give you a better turnaround. And it's like we were talking with Jack. Yes, it took you 6 months to sell those kookaburras, but you weren't getting spot for it either. You were getting 70, 80 a kook. That's a difference. That's acknowledging a profit. And it's like when you look at these coins, you have to think about them as like a CD at the bank. If you go and cash it in right now and you got a 10-year CD, guess what? You're going to pay a commission. You're going to pay interest. You're going to pay a fee for pulling it out sooner. But if you let it go the length of the loan and take your time, you'll make the money that way. You don't get hurt. It's just like my friend. I didn't believe it either. He'd buy these coins for like $60, and I told him he was crazy. He put them on for $120 between 3 to 6 months. The average one I know he had was 6 months. He sold them for double his money. Double his money. You show me what you can buy for $60 and hold on to it for 6 months and make 100% return on your money. Show me one thing. There isn't anything. That's crazy. Please. Hold in your hand? What better chances do we have? The idea of holding precious metals is an investment we can hold in our hand. take it with us. It holds it's an intrinsic value, and the reason why I personally like precious metals is they are portable. There is not, I can't move land. If I got a sickness or I have to move us out of the state, I can take my collectible coins with me. How do I take a piece of land? I can't. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Numismatic or collectible coins hold more value in a smaller form than bullion. I can hold a great sum of money in a little small package, considering 500 eagles, for example. And we're going back to where I can buy 500 eagles again for $2,500. If people want to bet me, we'll see what happens. For the past 5 years, I've been right. I sold my stuff 35 to 45 region, I'm out of bullion. And I've been telling everybody, including my dealer, my other friends, they all made millions on this whole thing. They're not sitting around not doing it. When I tell them to buy, they buy. When I tell them to short, they short. And they did it, and they've been doing it for the past 5 years and coming out ahead. You have to remove your emotions from what you trade or play with. If you can effectively do that, you can effectively be an excellent trader. And it's just like I told you guys last time. The dollar was going to 100. Euro is going to $1.02. We're going at parity. We're going to par. And I told everybody, I've been waiting patiently for years, waiting for this move, and it's coming. We're here. We're at 98 almost on the dollar index right now. No sign of slowing down. We're over resistance. The next resistance is at around 112. So what we're after is something that holds our value in a form that is portable, that increases in price every year, because guess what? There's not a lot of them on the market. When the coins I got when they're 75 or 100 or 500, if I got mine and I want, let's say I want $200 for it, and somebody puts it on, you know, once a year and it comes up for $50, am I going to lower mine to $50, or I'm going to buy that for 50 and decrease mine to 250? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy it if it comes up. You see what I mean? You don't, in other words, when you're hedging a position or locking in an interest or whatever you guys are trading, your vehicle trading, dollar cost averaging is the way that you lose. It is not how you become a successful investor. I had a friend who was heavily in AIG. He had it at over $1,200 a share. His whole life was in this company. I told him he was a fool. And when it went to $500, he told me, oh, it's a bargain bill of the century. And I told him, dude, I think it's going to $100 or 10. He goes, you're crazy. So when it went to 300, he sold his house and everything he owned and put everything in it because he thought it was going to go right back up 1,300 and he was going to be a millionaire. It went to $5. He lost everything, filed bankruptcy, living on the street now. You see what I mean? Just remember, bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. And these dealers, that I call, used our basic instincts by telling us that silver was a hedge for a collapse. It's not. It's just an investment. It's something to enjoy and have fun with. It's beautiful. I don't want to think about a dollar collapse that may not ever happen. I've gone through so many collapse craps in the past 30 years, it's not even funny. I don't want to think that way. When I think that way, I'm in tunnel vision. I cannot see anything around me. I only see what they want to tell me. The idea with investing in metals or any asset that we can play with is to return and hold our value, not to lose it. If you're losing money in something, you need to redo what you're doing. You need to stop first, quit digging. When you're dollar cost averaging into depreciating market, who knows where the bottom on silver is? It may go to $4. Gold may go to $600. How would you feel if you bought most of your possession, your asset, at $1,000 and you got cut in half? Who wants to go through that for the next 10 years? I don't know how long it's going to take to go back up, but I know the insiders are smart enough to sell everything they had. Eric Sprott sold all of his PSLV. Mike Maloney did the same thing. You go down the list of David Morgan, you go all the way down the list. All these expert, quote-unquote, gurus have all liquidated, all one thing in common, they've all liquidated their positions. They're in a net neutral position. They don't care what the price is. They make money on you, whether it's $1,000 an ounce or $1 an ounce, because they get on the spread, the premium in between. That's where they make the money. They don't care. And the only way they have to keep things up is they have to keep it up that you need to keep buying it to keep your investment safe. And then when it's no longer, oh, it's going to be a collapsed currency, oh, it's an insurance policy. No, it isn't. And you can actually get in trouble by saying that because it's not an insurance instrument. Number one, insurances say that it's a set value. Insurance policies don't lose money, first off. That's bull crap right there. So investing in silver and precious metals, in my opinion, when you do the right form, is a wealth preservation and a wealth building exercise. In 2006, I had this same idiot friend who I went in to buy the redback spiders. It's the Australian Deadly and Dangerous series. I bought 10 of them. My average price, well, all 10 of them, I paid a little over $800 back then. I sold them all in 2011 for a little over $20,000 on that position of $850. And my friend, the reason why he wouldn't get into them, because he told me silver was going to $500 then, and that the collapse was going to happen, and that silver was going to, is 4 ounces of silver was going to make him $2,000. The difference is I made the $2,000. He didn't. That's the difference. He lost. It's just basically the same price. It's crazy. So collecting and then holding something of value is what we're after. We want something beautiful, something that we can look at that holds its intrinsic value in or out. And the next generation, you know, World War II vets, these older guys, they're more into the modern or the old U.S. coinage currency. That's where that stuff's from. The people in their 50s like me on down in their 30s, we're the generation that's going more into the modern collectibles. They're more beautiful. The attention to detail's there. The strikes are perfect. You see what I mean? There's a whole new thing. And there's always going to be something cool about holding a coin in your hand that's 200 years old. You know what I mean? But when you're holding something that's made by a modern mint, like the Australian mint or the Chinese mint, and you see something that is so perfect and beautiful in detail and clarity, that's something that's a piece of art. I don't care that the underlying value is silver. I don't care if it's gold. I want what's on the coin. That's what I'm investing in. Because of turbulent markets like this is the reason why we want to be in those types of positions. Where do I think gold's going this year? I think we're going to go down and test 1,097. When the interest rate hike comes, I believe in the third quarter this year, that'll be taken out. We'll probably be sitting at 975. Next year, we'll probably go down and take 700 out, 700. And we're staying there for a while. We got to get back up. We got a lot of excesses in this system that needs to be cleared out. And when it clears out, then we can move back up. But until then, we have to get rid of the excess. These miners are mining too much of it. Their supply is too much. All the dealers are loaded with stuff. They have too much inventory. And when you got main dealers online refusing to buy eagles and pandas and maples, particularly gold, you need to think about that for a minute. What do they know that you don't? What are they doing that you don't? They know what's coming in the front door that you don't know. They know that everybody's selling and not many people are buying. And Tolving Metals went out of business because of one simple fact. Too many people were selling and not enough people were buying. And that's what bankrupted them. Had nothing to do, yes, they were doing some bad practices and stuff, but if you have more buyers than sellers, you can keep, that commissions coming in and the money's stirring and paying for stuff. But when you're double long the market like they were, and they refused to hedge their position, and they bought at $32 silver and it goes down to $22, they're out of business. They're done. Shut the door, they're done. They can't make it. It's too much risk. If you can't hedge a position as a dealer and lock in a price, you're done. You're out of business. You can't make it. These markets are too turbulent. Now, when a bull market is, you can make it. When you're in a bull market, you'll be fine. Because some days you go up and some days you go down. But when we had a triple top in silver, from 1979 to 2011, that's a lower high. Late September 2000, that's another lower high. That's a triple top. Triple top. So where's it going to go now? It can go down to $2. He was like, well, it's used in industrial supply. Yes, it is. But with the advancement of technology and more things coming into play, we're being more careful in what we use. Solar panel industry is done. Done. With oil at $40 a barrel, it is done. We have such a glut supply of oil right now, we are going to bankrupt Tesla and all these people out there that produce alternative energies. You'll see. If you want to make money, you short those people and make alternative energies because it's not going to be profitable. At $40 a barrel, they're not making money. You know, how are the alternative battery makers and solar panel makers going to be making all these using 150 million ounces of silver? They're not. They're just making too much. We got too much supply. Not everybody has $100,000 a year to be pumping into bullion silver to keep up the spot price while everybody else is selling it. You know, everybody buys and everybody sells, but you got to look at the long-term goal. The long-term goal is that, yes, it is a wonderful deal to put money into, but just buy the right stuff. Buy something that's not plentiful, something that has art, something that's beautiful, and determine where you want the price to be. If you own the supply, you own the price. What do you want for it? That's the kind of stuff you want to look at. Something that has artistic design and appeal that will appeal to generations to come, not something like a bar that you can go melt in your backyard. You want something that's not there, something that's beautiful, something that, you know, like the Lunars. How do you beat that coin? They're beautiful. Whether you stack a proof one or a bullion one, you're going to be fine. If you would have bought gold eagles, you're not. Or gold, Philharmonics or Panda, or not Panda, but Maples. You've got to find something that has appeal, something that looks and stunning and beautiful, and something that stands above the rest. Because where we go on price, I promise you one thing, it's going a lot lower than most people could even believe. And when we do finally do bottom, you will never see another commercial on Fox News pimping the metals. You won't see any advertisements in the junk mailers anymore. It'll be done. Then you'll see your bottom. When they quit talking about it, that's when the bottom is. And what I fear is the vast majority of the selling will take place when silver breaks $12, because the vast majority of the retail or the silver investors got into it from 1999 to 2004 area, from that $6 to $10 region. I'm going to lock in the position. If I'm held this position for 10 years, 20 years, I want to get something for my time. I don't want to get nothing. Who's willing to sell it on the other side? The miners are willing to sell it. As long as the miners are mining it and recycling it, you cannot compete with that. And these guys that say it's rare, going extinct, it doesn't exist anymore, the problem with that theory, it's a theory. Theories are bogus. They're not true. They're not facts. Theories are speculations. And if you look at how the market feels right now, to me it feels bad, and it feels to me like it's going a lot lower. That's why, when you look at Endless Mountain's channel, when he was talking about where silver is going, who was the guy that said it's going to 1780 to 1830? I did. He even quoted me. Oh, this other YouTuber thinks that I'm wrong on my Fibonacci retracement. It's not going to 1860. 1830 would be it. I was right. It went to 1833 or whatever within 1 penny. It didn't go to 1850. Why? Because 1850 was the low in 2013. And 2014, we hit off that a bunch of times. Now what was support is resistance. And when we break the 1550 handle, that's going to be resistance. So now I think we're going to go down. We're going to test 14. We're probably going to break it this time. Probably go down to $12. Have a small rally back up to 14, 15 bucks again. Probably 15, 20, 15, 60 before we go down and take out ultimately $9 or $10 and probably be in the single digits for 1 day or 2 days this year. And the dollar, I think it's going to 100 minimum this year, and it will spike it that way because the smart money knows there's a small interest rate hike. I don't think it's going to be a big interest rate hike, but it's going to be enough to put the death knell to the metals. It really is. It's the same thing that killed the metals in 1979, 1980 when Then they did the Paul Volcker interest rate hike. It killed it. I mean, when you look at a sea of currencies out there and the rest of the world is printing and they're all going off the cliff, the U.S. is the most attractive currency right now on the planet. No matter how much we hate this thing, everybody's going to it. Why? Because they still need it for a medium of exchange, and all commodities are priced in it, irregardless of what we've been told. They're all priced in the dollar. They're not priced in gold. Now, there are a few countries like Iran and stuff trading with it and stuff, but how do you think those countries are going to feel if gold goes to $900 or $600? They're going to lose a lot of value. You're right. They're going down. And they put their vast majority, like, ask yourself this simple question. This is the one that's always perplexed me. We're always told that China is buying all the silver and gold up and they can't get enough of it. Well, their panda sales do not justify that statement. There is no justification behind that. If the Chinese were truly buying and loving silver and gold as much as we've been told, they would buy those domestically sourced and mined pandas would be as equivalent to our U.S. production eagles and gold eagles in this country. And they're not even half. So you might as well throw that wind out the thing. Oh, they don't export any gold and silver. Well, the panda's gold and silver, so yes, they do export gold and silver. Then if you go back and look at it, then I mean, we look at it, oh, they're repatriating gold. They're repatriating. All these countries are repatriating gold. Well, how the heck did $1,750 gold work for Hugo Chavez in Venezuela? It didn't. Now it's $11.60. He lost $600 an ounce in value. He could have sold that gold, got rid of it, put the cash reserves into his economy. No, we're going to repossess it, put it in our country. Their country's bankrupt. I mean, their economy is based on $90 a barrel oil, and we're at 50. I mean, they're done. I mean, and if you go back and you look throughout this whole thing, it's going to happen to everybody. Russia has been going off the cliff for years. For years. Not just this last couple years. They've been done for 10 years. It's just a slower downward spiral spin because it's the way they're managing their country and their economy. Their economy is a $1 trillion a year economy, which is mainly the exporting of oil and natural gas. That's where their money comes from. This whole crap in Ukraine is over oil and natural gas deposits in eastern Ukraine that'll make Europe energy dependent on itself, and they will not need Russia. That's their $100 billion economy right down the crapper. That's what this whole thing is about. It's all about money and control. When you realize that, then you understand. This whole thing, where we go, up or down, things happen for the right reason, because of where we're going and what we've been. That is why, if you want something that makes money, invest in yourself first. You're number one. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not. Invest in you, whether it's at an education, something you want to do for fun, some kind of property rental, some kind of small business. Investing in yourself is the first priority you have. Then invest in precious metals in the right form, in the right categories. Buy the kookaburras, buy the Lunars. There's some really good Libertads. The 1999 Libertad that I keep getting crap about, a 2-ounce Libertad's worth $7,000. A 5-ounce one that's sold for $15,000. So why is that coin worth that much money? Because they made 100 of them and 250 of them. That is the vast majority of my collection is stuff in those mintages, where there's only 100 or 250 on the whole planet. We don't have to worry about the price because we hold something that there's only 100 people on 7 billion people on this planet even can think about holding in their hand. That is what I want to get my hands around. The other stuff, no. You can always buy a gold maple. You can always buy silver at any form. It's been that way for the last 30 years. You can always buy it. eBay works great because it gives us an outlet and an inlet for finding metals, for sourcing coins throughout the world. It's now we are in the internet age of technology and advancement where we can find stuff and sell stuff and advertise stuff that we once were forbidden to only used what left us, which would have been like our local coin dealer. You see what I mean? Where we had to go to them and take the hit, where now we can sell it to somebody else and get rid of the middleman. That's what we're after. We're trying to get rid of the middleman in our life. And the middleman is the gold and silver dealer, the guys making money on the front side and the back side. It buys a coin from you for $20 and sells it for $40. You know, and makes their position and makes their money on it. And then shorts the market so we get it on two sides. So it's all about Ray.
Hey, what's up, Chase? Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Anyway, so what we're looking for as a stacker, as a collector, I'm a stacker, I'm a collector, hoarder I call myself, because I fell in love with these things in the early 90s. These things are beautiful. When you truly look at the detail and the artwork in these coins, there is nothing like it made to this day. Absolutely nothing. And when you realize that there's 100 of them, 50 of them, 500 of them, a little switch clicks in your mind that you said, you know, for $100,000, I could own every one of these if I had 20 years or 30 years to search the globe looking for it. If you owned all of them, you control the market, you control the price, you own it.
Can you discuss something? Just open your mouth, say something, whatever. Just change the subject so this fool shuts the fuck up.
What up, Al?
Didn't you hear me go, shit?
So anyway, when people give me a bunch of crap or don't know, it's usually because they don't understand markets or they don't have a, you know, they don't take the time to go do any research. They just open their mouth, oh, this guy's an idiot, or oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, or something like that. Just do your own research. Try to prove it wrong. Find something. Go find one. You can't. You know, just enjoy things. Pick up coins that are fun. You know, stack because you love the stuff. Stack because you want to, but stack the right stuff. Don't just buy an eagle or a maple. You can always do that. We are in a bear market, not a bull. The bull died. We're in a bear market. So trying to time a bottom always hurts you because you're always going to enter at the right position time or exit the right time. You just got to be careful.
That was quite a roll. I think he went for like 20 minutes straight.
Well, I've only been gone for a month or 2 months, so. You know? I figure we needed some spice back in. Everybody was falling asleep on us today. It's a Sunday. Everybody's getting tired. So, yeah, the gold was refused by APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange Wholesale Department. That's where it came from. It's not bull crap. That's true. And then guess what happened when it was 12.20? Oh, now it's 11.60. Huh, I wonder what they knew. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Big Al says, when they have the big sales for metals, don't buy. Don't buy. Just wait. I mean, that's a $60 discount. Hey, Jack, did you ever get out of your position on the short euro?
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
Oh.
I got out at, I think it was 112, and it bounced back up to 115. I was like, let's see how far it traces. And then I missed that big drop. It's okay, though. I mean, I backed a 1,000 point move, so I mean, that's awesome.
Well, I think it's great. Because all that means is that, you know, your guys' exports are going to get cheap. You know, you're actually going to, it might stir the economy a little bit, actually. Makes your exports a little cheaper. It might actually give a little stimulus to you guys.
We don't really export much in England, though. We're a consumer economy like the US. We import stuff. It's a service-based economy mainly over here, actually, now, which is it's one of the problems.
Well,
if we had a strong manufacturing base, we'd be probably booming right now, actually. Or on the road to booming, anyway.
I think you guys are actually doing pretty good, though, if you actually look at your economy in a whole compared to everyone else over there.
Well, it's not as bad as, say, Spain or Italy, but I mean, it's still bad. We got 50% youth unemployment.
Wow.
Hardly any of my friends are working. And the ones who are working, like bars and restaurants and stuff, despite having like engineering degrees or, you know.
Well, in my state right now where I'm at, we're so busy right now we can't find help. Can't find employees. Nobody wants to. There's not enough people here. We're so busy right now, I can't even get contractors to show up and give me bids or quotes or anything. So, when people tell you it's bad, not here.
Well, it depends what profession you're in, right? I think the people who chose trades are actually doing quite well because it was shunned. I mean, the government told everyone to go out and get degrees, right?
Last year was
that was one of the roots of the problem. I mean, education is great, but if everyone's going to get a degree, who's going to become the plumbers? Who's going to be the bricklayer? You know.
I think a trade like building, contracting, engineering, something that requires skill, thought, electrical, you know, something like that. I think you're always going to be big. The healthcare field's always going to be big. We've got those baby boomers getting ready to retire. Always going to be a need for that. Like I said, invest yourself. Put money in you.
That's what I've been doing, actually. I've talked to Siren about this a lot. Like this year, I'm just focusing on my my home business.
Yeah, I think it's smart. Yeah, you kind of cut your expenses down. You don't have a car anymore. It's easy.
Yep. My overhead is pretty much like minimal now, and I just found a cheaper supplier of raw material as well. So.
Yeah, I think you're going to be great. Just put money into yourself. Open a business. Find some little niche that you guys are good at. That's how you make money. Finding a niche that makes you successful, and then you can take that money and put it in anything you want. Silver, property, retirement account. Invest in yourself.
My view with investing is cash flow comes first and capital gains comes second. That's what I've always focused on. So if you have the cash flow, then you have the money in the end to play the capital gains game.
Then you're not really worried about it because you have a source of revenue coming in. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Making the money to pay capital gains is actually a nice thing because it means you're making money. You know, if you can pay capital gain tax, it means, hey, you're actually making a living. So that's what's neat, is that you're actually doing something to better your life, and you know, might be somebody around you too. You might have a spouse or a loved one or somebody else, a family member or something. And, you know, when you invest in yourself, you're allowing something to change. And you know, since I've been doing my investing with me, doing more and more with mine, my business just keeps doubling every year, up 20%, up 40%, up 60%, having the busiest years I've ever had on record. Because it's all in your mind. When you believe the world is ending, your world truly does end. When you believe in positive things and uplifting things, people want to be around you. They want to come around you. When you're a negative nilly-illy, think the dollar is going to collapse, we're all going to be eaten out of a garbage can, nobody will be your friend. Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I mean? And you're just like, well, I'm the one awake. Well, how long do you got to be awake? 20 years? 30 years? While you're missing life? While you're missing your children and your kids? Nothing is worth that. Your family and you are number one. Everything else takes a back stage. Family and friends are number one. If you can't do that, you know, and you just want to get together, oh, the sky's falling, or this kind of crap, nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to hang around you. You're the doomer. I had a friend that believed that the economy in the world was ending so bad that he sold off his income-producing storage units that were giving him $5,000 a month. He didn't have to lift a finger. $5,000 a month was coming in every month off his residual income. He had everything met. He sold it for $500,000 and put it all into silver at $32 an ounce against my counseling. I said, you're an idiot. He told me silver was going to $500 an ounce, and he was going to be a millionaire, and that he would buy 20 Sphinx of storage units like he had, and that I was the one going to lose everything. Well, he lost everything, ended up going back to work for some little McDonald's cooking burgers, trying to find a way to make $1, and still believes that the sky is going to end and he will be made whole in his position. I'm like, dude, it might take 100 years. I don't know. Nobody has a clock. But if he would have taken his money every month, his $5,000 a month, and put that into silver, he'd still have his business. But because he didn't, and he believed Chris Dwayne, he's not. Because Chris Dwayne told him he should eat out of a garbage can. This guy went to the food bank, for crying out loud, and was getting food stamps and food subsidies, and he sold his TV, his bed, everything this man owned. He was living in his mother's basement because he truly believed that the collapse was nigh and that every ounce of silver he could get his hands on was going to make him rich, and he was going to have more money than anybody around me. I was like, dude, fickle fate does not bestow unearned wealth. If she does, that and everything else. It's a slow process. It takes time, patience. That's how you create wealth. And you got to have something to have fun with. I like precious metals because they're unique. They're beautiful in the right form. People's like, well, you pay that much for silver. I didn't buy the silver, buddy. I bought the depiction that's on the coin. That's what I bought. Silver's nice, but the coin is nicer. You see what I mean? And if you get the collapse type scenario and silver goes to $1 million an ounce, $5 an ounce, they're still going to be worth more than a generic round anyway. Because he was like, well, silver goes to $500 an ounce. This rare coin you got here, it's only going to be worth $500. And I says, are you batshit crazy? I says, if silver's $500 an ounce, this coin will be worth $50,000. He looked at me, I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'll send you your tube of Eagles that you bought for, $10 an ounce is worth $500 an ounce? And you think I'm going to sell this coin for that price? You're crazy.
Well, let's say you couldn't, even if you couldn't get a higher premium on it, you would still make a profit because the silver content had rose.
Yeah. But you still, your downside risk protected too. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
In turbulent markets like we are right now, holding wealth in precious metals is excellent because it allows you to spend money on something and put it away. Buy it, put it away. Rat hole it. It allows us to rat hole wealth until we need it. I don't need my stuff for another 20 years until I get ready to get Social Security and retire. So I don't have any plans to get rid of anything anytime soon, and I can get rid of it when I want to or give it to my kids or something like that. It's no big deal. I mean, it's not what brings me my money. I make my money in the market, buying the miners like I told people to do. That kind of stuff is where I make my money. Buying triple leveraged miners, I've been doing really good on that for the past 5 years. Pick them up, short them at the right time, get out of them at the right time. And then, that's where you make your stuff. These coins are my passion. They're my hobby. This is what I love. That's what the difference between something that you're just stacking for the hell of it or something that you can look at that actually is beautiful. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You guys see anything else good anywhere?
Not me personally, not anything new. I've been buying the older Britannias, back when they were 958 purity.
Yeah, when they were the 95%.
Yeah, been picking those up. Whenever I see one come up cheap, I just buy it now.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have got a mintage under 100,000 as well. So.
Well, and they each have unique styles too,
Yep. I've been getting those, and I've been trying to get them in the mint sealed packets if I can. And if not, then the coin capsule will do. As long as it's not scuffed up or anything.
Yeah. I think stuff like that is what holds our value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't let for nothing. You think those are beautiful like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Siren's asking a question here. She wants to know what you think about Talisman and the new 2-ounce Anda goats. ANDA.
The Anda goat is because there'll be a proof 2-ounce goat. It'll be a proof 2-ounce colorized goat, is what it is, the Anda coin.
Yeah, she's posted the link here. $120 is what they want.
Yeah. I don't think that would be a bad deal, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's just saying it's 109 if you buy 5.
It's 109 if you buy 5?
Yep.
Yeah, I never got my stuff that I ordered from them. I think I must be blackballed or something. I ordered a bunch of...
They cancelled my order too.
Oh, I wasn't the only one. I couldn't figure it out. These guys got it. Silver Siren must have pushed the right button. I called them and bugged them, and they said, "Oh, no. We're not giving you any."
I called them up as well because originally my transaction went through, and it's they took the money, and it wasn't processing or anything like that. It had gone through. They then reversed the charge, put it into my PayPal account, then put it into a pending status. So I had to phone them up, and they were incredibly rude.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to me like I was just a complete idiot.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, well, fine. You won't get my business ever again.
Well, I think they screwed me in 2014 and 2013 with some of the rare coins, and I've lost thousands on them basically, and I just like in 2010 or 2014, I ordered 10 of the Zeuses from them before they had a limit and stuff on them. They told me to go piss off. I never got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness I did what I want.
I think they only want to deal with you if you're ordering like one coin at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just like what we told you. Isn't the idea that with them that, all dealers have, right, are their reputations. All these guys have, is how they treat their customer. How they treat each other. That's all we have. When you don't treat people well, you're not going to be in business very long. You know what I mean?
Well, they've lost me as a customer, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah, we can be. You know what I mean? We got to look at stuff and see how things go. You know what I mean? And if you look at how things are happening right now in our everyday life, for example, as the prices, like for example, Talisman, why would they sell you a coin for $60 if they can get $100 for it? You know what I mean? That's what these guys are thinking. Oh, I'll just tell him you don't need it. you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we don't need to give him anything.
Have you seen what they're doing with the kookaburras now? Actually, they've been very sneaky. They're saying on the website that the original price is like $160, and you're actually saving money by buying it for $110. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's just like what we told you. We're just trying to find something that is something fun, something that holds our value, and that we can put money away and not worry about anything. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
You know, and it's just like you and I, you're the other one that's, we've been right. You know what I mean? I've never had anybody say, oh, yeah, you were right. Hey, boy, I'm glad I listened to you and sold at the top. I actually had a couple people that did and actually thanked me. So I don't do it just to, here's one person, here's one person. I've actually really, truly gotten people out and helped people. And you look at the price now, how would you have felt it solding at $1,300 gold and $18 silver, looking at it now? I mean, that's a nice profit. I mean, as a trader, and that's good money. I just think that's funny. Anyway, so what I ended up doing with the maples that AppMax refused to buy is I just took them down to my local dealer, and he gave me $20 under spot and liquidated them for a friend. I didn't want them. So that's how we got rid of them. After AppMax refused to buy them. So it's going to be pretty good.
Siren's saying in the side chat here that you should probably do a video about that.
About the AppMax, you mean?
Yeah, because I mean it's an interesting topic, and it's something not many people think about getting out of their position, and when they try to, they're often quite shocked, I think.
Well, I think the average person realizes when they want to exit. See, entering the position is one thing. Exiting that position is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier to call them up and just get what you want, but when you need to get your money back, it's like, oh man, you got to know what to do.
Yeah. In prime example, I said earlier in this hangout, those 79 2008 Kooks took me 5 minutes to place the order to buy them, 6 months to sell them.
Yeah. But make on each one of them. How much did you make on each one of them, though?
Oh, I bought them for $18 and I sold them at an average price of $90.
You bought those for $18 in 2008?
2009.
Yeah. Hey, isn't that what it's about, though?
Oh yeah, I was extremely happy.
That's freaking awesome.
I bought those, and I've got like, I think I've got over 200 of the 2009 that need to go. I'm going to sell those soon, I think.
Yeah.
I should have sold them when they were going for 100, but I don't know. I held on to them for some reason. But still, I mean, I bought those for about $20, and they're like worth $45 now, so I'm more than double.
Yeah, look how much you made. I mean, does that say that even now you were under your position? No. Does that say that maybe another 10 years that it might go up? You know what I mean? It's going up and down for a reason, you know what I mean? Because of the way things are moving up and down. That's why we want to get in stuff like what we're doing. You know, what coin could you have bought? Could you have bought an Eagle that did that for 18 and sold it for 90?
Unless you bought them in 96.
The 96 Eagle, yeah. The only one's really worth anything. Or 99 if you got a sealed monster box of them. Those will go for good money, too. Hoping that there's an MS70 in it. You know, it just depends on what you're looking for and how you get it. You know, people slam bash me all the time about the stuff I go after, but if you look, for example, at the like a 1995 West Point W Eagle, I mean, those things are worth $3,500, $3,000. So it just depends on what you're going for. You know what I mean? If an Eagle can be worth $3,000, why can't these be worth anything?
Well, it comes down to knowing your market, really. I mean, I've learned from talking to you guys in the States and in Canada, even some people in Australia. Regional markets are very different. Like over here, like for example, those ATB coins, I know they're quite hot in the States, but like you get spot price for those over here.
Yeah.
No one really cares. Same with those candy coins that everyone hyped up. Nobody cares about those over here.
No. Well.
So know your market.
Yep.
I like to research what's selling on eBay and what kind of prices people are paying. That tells me what to look out for in the future.
Yeah.
And as long as you can get in early. I never buy stuff off the secondary market unless it's someone panic selling at a low price. If you can get in on the ground floor when they first come out, you as long as you're smart about it, you should do well.
Yeah. Well, it's like we said, that's what we're after, right? You know, if you find something that you missed out on or something right away, and you're able to go like on eBay and pick it up real quick, I mean, that's still going to be okay. You know, they tend to do something better longer. The more you hold it, usually the longer you do. You know? But if you look where silver price fell, let's say you bought those 2009s at an average price of, let's say, you know, $18 because silver was cheap in 2009. Well, if your maximum return, you sold them when, let's say, silver was $40. So with the premium, I mean, if you look at price now, if you say they're going for $45, that's still a $30 premium almost. That's really good. You know,
yeah.
For that coin. Now the 2 ounces, they're going for a lot more. They're going for like $60 an ounce. So they're going for like $120. You know, and the 2008s, you know, AppMax sells them for $250 if they have any, or you know, $150, $200 on eBay all day long. You know, they're nice coins. 2008 is beautiful. But, kookaburras, the Lunars, I mean, especially some of the older stuff. And I noticed with Lunars in the past, since '99, is that it seems like within the first 3 years, once they come out, about 3 years later is when the premium really starts rising on them.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And the half ounce. The only one that really doesn't have that premium increase much is the 1 ounce. And it's just because they make too many of them. 300,000,
I've done really well with the 1 ounces. They tend to do better than the half ounces over here. Over here in the UK, it's most popular is 1 ounce, closely followed by the 2 ounce. If you buy either of those, you're going to make money.
Oh yeah.
Half ounce depends on the year.
Well, like for example, like a half ounce mouse, right? A half ounce mouse is worth, let's say, $60, $65, right? Well, that's like $120 an ounce, give or take, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 2 ounce is worth $600, 3 to 600. The 5 ounce is worth over $1,000, and I've seen the 10 ounce go for $1,500 to $2,000. It just depends on what you're going after. You know what I mean? So that's what we're after. We're after something that increases and holds their value. Reading a side chat with old Alan Gold. Oh, that's a real genius. Oh boy. Yeah. Go back and read my comments, Alan, and then you can find out who was right. Jeez, that's funny. Anyway, so like I said, we're just trying to find something. Silver and gold should be something to use to have fun. There's something that can increase your wealth, make you money in the short term, long term. That's what you're after. Like you and I talk all the time. That's what we're looking for. You're doing the job thing, but, you could probably do some of these coin things on the side, too.
Yeah, I've been flipping stuff here and there when I can.
Yeah, it gives you a little extra money, it gives you something that you can go do something else with it,
Right? It's a question of liquidity over here, though. The market is nowhere near as big as it is in the States.
Well, the only reason why I think it's more liquid here is I think we are the biggest precious metals market, I believe, in the world. I think we're bigger than Dubai. I think we're bigger than India, just with the amount of movement and volume we do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you just look at our Eagle sales. They're off the chart.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
So, I think it's like if you added all the forms of Eagles, you're getting close to 1 billion ounce. You're like, dang, that's a full year of inventory just in one coin. So I think in the world there's at least 20 years of inventory in silver and gold that is being held back, and all this investment supply or demand is its future supply on the market. At one time in the future, it'll come back on the market. At some price, it'll come back on the market. That's future supply. That's not out of business type thing. That's going to come back one day. So, did you see any coin that you picked up that's worth a hoot or anything good?
I've got a 2009 Britannia coming next week, so looking forward to that. It usually goes for about $100. I managed to get it for like 40.
That's a good deal.
Because the seller put it up for auction and he spelt it wrong. He spelt the title wrong, so I was the only bidder.
Oh man.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, you did good, man. You did real good.
Yeah.
I'd say when you can get stuff like that, there's a lot of things that you can, there's like so many people that don't list things, right? You know what I mean? That, some things happen, some things don't, So
I think it's a lot of people list stuff on their phones now. They use the eBay app, and with autocorrect, they they make mistakes, unintended spellings and stuff, and they don't realize. I think that's part of it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with platinum is something that's used in industrial commodity that's kind of a little bit up there with silver. And the thing that's nice about platinum is you can actually hold a coin in your hand, where palladium is toxic. You see what I mean? That's why I kind of like platinum. You know what I mean? But how low do I think it'll go? Maybe 950 before it comes back up.
I have no idea about platinum, but palladium. I think palladium is in a bubble because I mean Eric Sprott has been pumping that like crazy. I think the fair price of palladium was probably about $400.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you say that, but I was noticing that a while back when he was starting to talk about his ETF. Now I was like, oh no, time to get out. Yeah, I think palladium probably go to $400 and stay there, $300 to $400. It had its bull run and it peaked out at $900. I mean, it was really nice. I mean, it had a double top. So, I mean, now we're kind of going back down, but I think, you know, the one, if you wanted to hold one, platinum would probably be a better position. Platinum and gold, you won't get go to the woodshed like silver and the other ones will. Just because silver is primarily an industrial commodity. And if we truly do go through a depression like ever these experts say, you know, look what happened in 2008. Everybody ran to the dollar. Even though the dollar index crashed, they still went into cash. They still liquidated everything into cash. The reason why that's under one set of circumstances. Silver and gold do best in deflation because people tend to park money in that commodity or that asset class because it tends to lose money at a lesser rate than other assets around them. So that's the reason why people park money in that asset. And the reason why I think the silver and gold stalled last year and didn't go further down was because the stock market started rolling over and kind of ran out of steam, you know what I mean? And that's what happened here in January too. And what I call the Swiss effect is what happened with gold and silver. And you know, 2013 it was the Cyprus event. You know, there's always some little event or something that's used to hype this stuff up and get people to put all their money in it. Oh, this time it's different. You know, it's going to $1 million, or you know. So when you say it's going to $100, the average person says, "Well, I can't see $100, but I could see 50." You know what I mean? So I saw an article by David Morgan he put out last week, and he says that silver is going to $26 minimum this year. I'm like, oh no. Another one.
I don't think David Morgan has ever been right about anything. Even when it was in a bull market, he still didn't get the calls right.
No. Well, he did, and this is the funny thing is that everybody always gives me crap, but it's all out there. Like Eric Sprott sold his PSLV 2 times. He sold his personal PSLV in April of 2011 and again in February and March of 2013. Over $50 million each time. He doesn't have any silver and gold. He sold it all. And if you go back and look when he got out, he exited out in great position. I mean, great positions. 30 plus on silver on 2013, and you know, 40 something on gold or silver in 2011. That's a smart investor. You know, he tells somebody this something on this side, and goes over here and does it on the other side. That's what they do. They play the ring around the rosy time thing. And I think that all these dealers or these guys, I think these guys got burned in 1979, 1980, going long silver and gold back then. And I think that they decided rather than having what happened to the Hunt brothers, they just, you know, kind of, you know, it's not done on purpose, but let's say there's like 50 people that got together and say, hey, if we get 50 of us together, we can't get charged with manipulation. So, on the bullion side of things. So, it's been proven that if you just put your money in cash and just sit on the sidelines and wait, you're actually making money. You're actually ahead in your position, not behind. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, Yeah.
Okay. Siren is saying that she's looking to wrap things up soon, and she wants to know if you have like any kind of like bullet points that you'd like list that you want people to think about or take away from this.
You mean me?
Yeah.
I would say the thing to take away from this thing is invest in yourself first. You're number one. Don't buy into any fear that anybody talks about, because most of it is smoke and mirrors. It's used as a ploy to relieve you of your wealth. Number two, invest in something that has beauty and something that you will enjoy looking at and holding, and something that has a proven record that you can go back through time and research on your own to find out what the value is. So that's what we want to find, and that's what we want to collect and hold. Holding silver and gold in the rare forms and the good forms is a wonderful thing, and it can make you wealthy when you do it right. When you take your time to research it, and that's all I can say. Be patient. Take your time and be patient. Research what everybody says and look into it for yourself. So anyway, I guess we're getting ready to go. Thanks, Silver Siren. Thanks for everything. See you guys.
All right, Chase.
See you, Ray. Good to back at you guys again. Sorry for the long rant, but I've been wanting to get a hold of that not-so-polite Canadian guy, but apparently he doesn't want to talk to me. Oh, well.